first day at his new job. He's a little nervous. We get it. But something here feels different. Something feels better. There's excitement everywhere. There's enthusiasm. There's a sense of camaraderie. Alex wonders what's going on. What's going on is that Alorica is a different kind of company. One that makes a commitment to its people first. One that was built around a single vision, to make lives better, one interaction at a time. This isn't just a people business. It's a people-to-people business. And if we want our team to make meaningful connections with others across the globe, they first need to be respected, understood, and empowered. So we encourage all our employees to grow, to pursue new ideas and interests, and above all, to become the people they want to be. People with passion, people dedicated to performance and to embracing all kinds of possibilities, and people that will help us to make a difference for our colleagues, our clients, our customers, and our communities. Alex doesn't know it yet, but he's going to be a big part of that difference. And hey, look, he's starting a softball team, making connections already. We love that. Engaged, energized, and ready to deliver insanely great experiences. That's what we're all about. And we get there by doing something incredibly revolutionary, yet painfully simple. We treat our people like people. Passion, performance, possibilities. Alorica.
In a world where big numbers count, what counts the most is one word. You. Game changers, forward thinkers, problem solvers. We welcome different kinds of you. Different sizes, different identities, different experiences. Together, we'll be different. Together, we'll create a difference. Be part of the team that finds ways. Do join BDO.
Binondo, 1920. Here, 100 years ago, men of courage and vision founded China Bank to help a community of struggling but worthy merchants and traders achieve their dreams. They were driven by an impeccable code of trust and respect through the hard times and the good times. That's how China Bank successfully partnered with 5 generations of loyal clients. Today, China Bank keeps pace with evolving technology while remaining grounded on integrity and prudence. China Bank, celebrating the past, embracing the future.
Times change, but values remain.
When the world seemed to stop, we carry on. Continue to dream and create. We don't just work with what we know. We innovate to adapt. So you can drive your career forward. We don't just make you feel welcome. We provide everyone an equal opportunity to succeed. We don't stop at just enough. We go extra to care and provide, so you can brave the world safely. names aren't the same, but we've always been different. We are concentrics. We dream different. We create different. We embrace different.
With each second that passes, data becomes bigger, and the world around it becomes more complex. You've blinked, and peak oil ends. Governments change. Homes become hotels. Giants merge. Different sources, different structures, and different data types have made it harder to find what you're looking for. Harder to make connections and gain the insight that separates you from others. Because big data doesn't always give you the big picture. FactSet does. So, when the global news cycle becomes inaudible, FactSet lets you distill it down to the crucial intelligence and go from insight to profit faster. When global markets look impenetrable, FactSet helps you spark new ideas and trace them through supply chains, political dependencies, and emerging trends to find the most promising investments. When your organization is generating ideas faster than you can interpret them, FactSet makes it easy to pull viewpoints together faster, to share, combine, and act. When your investments are spread across asset classes and geographies, FactSet creates a window to find opportunity, measure performance, and predict where to go next. You need to find answers everywhere, across your organization, all at the same time. FactSet collaborates with the world's investment professionals to do just that. We believe integrity is the foundation of trust, and that collectively, we can solve our greatest challenges. We search where others do not. We embrace new ideas. We search the world for possibilities. FactSet. See the advantage.
Reed Elsevier Philippines provides quality services to all Relics Group divisions worldwide. It started its operations last 2010. As the business matured through the years, so does our company's vision and mission. Equipped with comprehensive training and leading technology, our vision is to be the center of excellence with uniquely branded culture, engaged talent, and leading technology. Our mission is to help customers gain insights and achieve results in faster, more effective ways. We support our business partners with services that deliver innovative solutions, superior outcomes, and exceptional customer experience which is aligned with our employee value proposition, valuing what matters to all our unique customers.
In 2014, we launched our employee value proposition, and that is valuing what matters. We value what matters to our employees by acknowledging that our professional, engaged, and fun people are at the heart of our success as an organization. We value customers by putting them in the center of everything that we do, helping them to gain insights and achieve results in faster and more effective ways. We value our stakeholders by providing them with services that deliver innovative solutions, superior outcomes, and exceptional customer experience.
We provide exceptional customer experience and contribute to help our organization become the center of excellence with uniquely branded culture, engaged talents, and leading technology. We value our people and customers. Their hard-won loyalty is important to us. We commit to provide our customers the quality service they deserve by having the passion for winning. We practice boundarylessness by making every experience uniquely REPH through teamwork and collaboration with our customers across different industries around the world. We promote customer focus by putting our customers in the center of every decision we make, and we continuously find innovative ways to exceed their expectations.
As we now fully embrace the challenge of creating an effortless customer experience, all of us here in Reed Elsevier, Philippines, regardless of division or function, must contribute to improving the customer experience because everything we do impacts our customers. We all own the customer experience in every customer touchpoint, in every step of our customer's journey. Our global CX vision is to provide our customers with an effortless customer experience. This depends on every one of us as REPH employees, as well as RELX team members. You are the customer experience.
Welcome to the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, the country's first Polytechnic U. PUP is a state-run university governed by Republic Act 8292, known as the Higher Education Modernization Act of 1997, and its implementing rules and regulations contained in the Commission on Higher Education Memorandum Circular No. 4, Series of 1997. It is home to more than 70,000 students, making it the largest state university in the Philippines in terms of student population. It is the university's commitment to give qualified and talented students access to quality and responsive education to aid them in the achievement of their dreams and the improvement of their lives. True to its commitment of making education accessible to all, the university has strategically established campuses and branches all over Luzon. PUP boasts of its roster of 1,483 full-time and part-time faculty members and 707 administrative employees. The faculty and employees perform the collective goal of training, servicing, and supporting the university's stakeholders. From its humble beginnings in 1904, PUP was originally established as the Manila Business School, primarily for the training of personnel for government service and to provide skills needed for private employment. 4 years later, the Manila Business School was renamed Philippine School of Commerce, or PSC, and merged with the Philippine Normal School from 1933 to 1946. Through the virtue of Republic Act 778, PSC was renamed the Philippine College of Commerce, or PCC, in 1952. In April 1, 1978, PCC was converted into a chartered state university now known as the Polytechnic University of the Philippines by virtue of Presidential Decree No. 1341 issued by the President of the Republic of the Philippines. PUP truly has come a long way from a business school to a premier polytechnic university, the very first in the country. Every year, around 50,000 graduating high school students, mostly from economically challenged families, take the Polytechnic University of the Philippines College Entrance Test, or PUP set, and hope to become one of the 10,000 who will be given a chance to be new PUPNs. At present, the university offers more than 80 programs in the graduate and undergraduate levels with its strategic direction of making the colleges vertically articulated. Graduate School, College of Accountancy and Finance, College of Arts and Letters, College of Architecture and Fine Arts, College of Business Administration, College of Communication, College of Computer and Information Sciences, College of Education, College of Engineering, College of Law, College of Political Science and Public Administration, College of Social Sciences and Development, College of Science, College of Tourism, Hospitality and Transportation Management, College of Human Kinetics, Institute of Technology. PUP further strengthens its open university system through expanded tertiary education equivalency and accreditation program and the non-traditional system program. It caters to borderless educational system that aims to reach many learners as possible. For more than a century of existence, countless outstanding achievements have raised PUP to the level of a national comprehensive university. With the vision to transform the university into an epistemic community, PUP subscribes to the idea that a university should have an extensive research and extension development culture. Proof to this are numerous research undertakings of the university. Each year, PUP surpasses national passing rate in licensure examinations and ranks among the top in different academic disciplines. Has also institutionalized academic exchange and international cooperation with various countries all over the world through its Office of International Affairs. Today, PUP is relishing its successes, and its students are enjoying unprecedented academic opportunities, an enhanced campus environment, upgraded colleges, state-of-the-art technology, and nationally and internationally recognized programs. It has gone far from what it was more than a century ago. This is mainly due to the support given by the government, the PUP community, and its benefactors. With the combined efforts, PUP will continue to be a partner in nation building and in poverty alleviation for the marginalized sector of the society, with quality, responsive, and relevant education as a tool. PUP, the country's first polytechnic youth.
Allow me to share with you my vision for the university. I envision PUP to become the pioneering and leading national polytechnic university in the 21st century. With a national polytechnic university status, it will bring more opportunities for the university to further strengthen its academic programs and improve organizational performance as an institution for higher education. In pursuit for this vision, my mission for PUP is for it to recognize its catalytic role for national development. PUP will ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities through a re-engineered polytechnic education. By re-engineering, we look into the existing processes and programs in order to achieve higher quality of academic programs and services following the principles of effectiveness and efficiency. With this mission in mind, I have formulated 10 pillars as my reform agenda for the university. Pillar 1, Dynamic, Transformational, and Responsible Leadership. Empower academic and administrative leaders by following the core principles of good governance to create collective growth and unity. Here I would like to highlight an innovation by introducing the development of an integrity management plan to assess, plan, and implement anti-corruption strategies that will secure the institution against corruption and abuse. Likewise, asset management and resource generation will be aggressively pursued to ensure productivity and finance the implementation of the plans and projects for the university. Pillar 2, Responsive and Innovative Curricula and Instruction. We aim to provide world-class polytechnic education that responds to national and global needs by developing intellectually challenging curricula and design academic programs that are based on industry demands to provide the learners with adequate and relevant competencies and skills and prepare them for a successful and rewarding careers. In a rapidly changing world, we recognize the paradigm shift in curriculum to outcome-based education with lifelong learning approach. Pillar 2 also sits on the framework of internationalization of Philippine higher education through transnational education by promoting academic mobility among faculty and students and global dimension into the curricula and teaching process. Pillar 3, Enabling and Productive Learning Environment. Following education in Industry 4.0, we aim to increase and enhance the use of new technology to enable student learning and engagement, as well as advanced teaching process and methodology through new and state-of-the-art facilities that will support the overall learning and teaching experience in the university. Pillar 3 likewise includes campus development and the provision of conducive learning centers and facilities for students and faculty. Pillar 4, Holistic Student Development and Engagement. We will empower students as well as rounded learners and active young leaders as we open opportunities for various academic mobility and venues for honing skills and personal development, being the principal stakeholder of the university. Recognize academic freedom as a form of self-expression and a platform to showcase students' intellect, skills, and creativity. Pillar 5, Empowered faculty members and employees. Likewise, we are looking into the holistic development of our faculty and employees as productive, competent, and experts in their respective fields. We will encourage our faculty roster through formal education, capacity building, research and extension initiatives, faculty immersion, and other academic engagements, both local and abroad. We will ensure that both our faculty and employees will have a vibrant career development path as public servants in this state university. Pillar 6. Vigorous research production and utilization. We will continue to strengthen the research culture in the university by promoting discovery and innovation through increasing disciplinary and collaborative research integration across academic disciplines to create new knowledge, utilize research findings, and develop innovative products. Pillar 7. Global academic standards and excellence. Achieve the highest levels of recognition in quality and compliance standards from CHED, AACUP, and other international accrediting and regulatory bodies for higher education. We will intensify our efforts to achieve and sustain better academic performance and continue to excel as a top-performing school in various professional licensure examinations and produce board top-notchers, as well as sustain our status of being the most preferred graduates of employers. Likewise, we aim to establish and to be recognized as centers of development and excellence in our academic programs. Pillar 8. Synergistic, productive strategic networks and partnerships. Synergize and forge strategic linkages and partnerships across all sectors of society and the global community in line with the overall plans and programs of the university. Establish alliance with the government, industry sector, NGOs, and the academe will lead to resource sharing, program support, and research collaborations beneficial for all. Pillar 9. Active and sustained stakeholders engagement. Harness a healthy and harmonious organization by empowering all its stakeholders, both internal and external, through open communication networks, consultative and participative undertakings, and team-building activities, recognizing that all stakeholders can greatly contribute towards the betterment of the university. Pillar 10. Sustainable social development programs and projects. Expand access to education, knowledge building, and information dissemination through sharing of expertise and resources for community development. Support inclusivity approach and education by embarking on Education on Wheels, which aims to bring access to education closer to communities, following the principle of no one will be left behind. As the University of the People, we should bring the university closer to their hearts to serve their needs and extend assistance in mainstreaming public service. Our institution must continue to stand as one for the values that we have inculcated. For the past 115 years, we have exemplified our quest for truth, excellence, equity, relevance, effectiveness, integrity, and academic freedom. Lastly, I call upon each and everyone to join me in this journey. Together we stand as one para sa sintang paaralan para sa ating bayan.
Emerson is a global technology and engineering leader. We operate in over 150 countries. We are 110,000 employees worldwide. And here in the Philippines, we have over 2,000 employees.
My name is Nikki Florento. I'm from Dell Philippines. I'm handling the university relations and services hiring.
Pagasa Steel supplies concrete reinforcing bars to the Philippines' booming construction industry. We have been the leading supplier of quality steel bars for the past 52 years.
EGS is an Alorica company. It is one of the fastest growing BPO companies in the Philippines right now.
I'm Cecil Venancio and I'm a Branding and Communications Director of Sykes Asia.
We don't decide whether you're from a top-tier university or a state university. We decide based on our assessments that includes exams and interviews. Having said that, a lot of Del's workforce in the Philippines are from PUP.
55 to 80 hires annually, those coming from PUP alone. And as a matter of fact, 14 of the homegrown employees who started from staff and supervisor have been promoted.
Currently, we have 13 employees from the PUP. They're working in a different field, so most of them are in engineer, some are in sales, most of them are in the higher position.
There's a huge pool of students that we can really harvest from, and we know the reputation that they bring. So we're glad that we have a university like PUP that we can rely on for our future employees.
I love the graduates of PUP. They're not only fun to work with, but you can rely on them. They are very, very dependable.
PUP graduates are an exact match and fit to Pagasa Steel's mission and vision.
The reason why we prefer the PUP graduates is the fact that we noticed that they have a common denominator, very hardworking. You see, whatever happens, they'd still work. Even if it's raining, they'd still come to work. You give them additional tasks, they'd accept. They are resilient.
Very passionate, aside from being resilient, because we can see that they're very dedicated with their job. And we've seen a lot of PUP graduates, not just in one department.
They turn out to adapt very well and adjust well to our company here in the Philippines. They're productive employees and they stay with us for a long time.
Stand out sa PUP graduate is their loyalty sa company namin.
Integrity and ethics, drive for results, intellectual capacity, and adaptability. So when we hire PUPians, they have this kind of competencies.
Of course, they're very intelligent people, responsible. Responsible in a sense because whenever we meet these graduates and we ask them what are their future plans, they would always come up with answers like helping out their family, or because I'm done with school, I'll help out another sibling. So you would know already that these kids, even before they actually embark on certain work, they already have goals in mind. They're not maarte, no? Whatever you give them, they know that if it's for the purpose of the job, they will do it. And so they have, they're the ones that survive the challenges of work. They don't shirk away from responsibilities. They're the type who, whatever the job requires, they're up for the challenge.
PUPians enable people everywhere to grow and thrive.
PUP is one of the pillars of the nation because it is an institution that provides good graduates and people who really contribute to the success of the community or to the success of the country.
To all the people associated with PUP, if you're a graduate, congratulations, and you should be proud of yourselves. For those of you that are students, please continue the tradition, the proud legacy that your school has. Some of you, PUP, you work for us now. We appreciate you. We know you're good employees. For those of you that might work for us in the future, please consider us. We'd love to have you. We know that you make a great employee for ours.
PUPians, bring everything you are. If you have big ideas, let's talk. Come work where passion meets possibility. You can visit jobs.del.com for opportunities.
To pursue your dreams and work hard for whatever endeavor you will choose. And in the event that you will choose to apply in one of the fastest BPO companies in the Philippines, I would like to invite you to apply in EGS, an Alorica company, because our doors are open for all of you.
To all the PUPians, let's create a sense of smile together.
SMART is very happy to have PUP graduates now enjoying their career and let them live more.
Hashtag Sykes to PUP. We will support you in more ways than one.
Tara na, maging magkasama na tayo. Mabuhay ang PUP!
simula ngayon, magkakaroon tayo ng mga bagong guest host bawat episode.
Wow! Iba-iba pala to, no?
Yes, oo.
Ngayon, i-welcome natin yung schoolmate natin guest host natin ngayon.
Oo, mga gusto ko siya makilala.
Welcome natin si schoolmate Mariel! Ang ginagawa mo
ka? Ang ginagawa mo?
Hello!
Hi, schoolmates! Ako nga pala si Mariel from College of Communication, ang guest host ngayong episode.
Wow! So, kumusta ka naman?
Okay naman. Siyempre, masaya ako nakasama ko kayo.
Oo nga kami rin guys, kasi matagal-tagal rin tayo, di ba? Nagkaroon ng break. So, guys, we miss you so much.
Tama, oo. Alam niyo mga schoolmates, kahit nawala kami, babalik at babalik pa rin kami para sa inyo, para magbigay ng impormasyon at entertainment, di ba? Siyempre.
Oo, taray. Servisyo totoo talaga.
Oo naman, kasi nga sabi nila, there's always a rainbow after the rain. Parang ngayon lang, di ba?
Speaking of rainbow.
Ay! Wow! Uy! Ang galing na ba?
Celebrate daw tayo ngayong September.
Ano yun?
Malaman?
Oo. Ang galing nito
Sa puntaw na matapos masungkit ng PUP ang record na largest human rainbow sa Guinness Book of World Records, ngunit wala pa rin nakakapantay dito. At simula noon ay matagumpay nating naipakita sa buong mundo ang tatag at tibay ng ating sintang paaralan. At yan ang ating tatalakayin ngayon sa episode ng Ang Hit featuring The Human Rainbow.
Bawat uri ng human rainbow ay tumakatawan para sa iba't ibang galing ng mga estudyante sa Pilipino. Parang unity. Kasi hindi naman buo yun. Walang unity ng bawat isa. Parang pinapakita pa rin ng PUPians na nagkakaisa tayo sa isang symbolism na which is the rainbow.
Pagkakaisa ng mga tao. Sa isang pambihirang pagkakataon, nagsama-sama noong September 18, 2004 sa Quirino Branch at may higit 30,000 estudyante, guro, empleyado at alumni ng PUP upang buuin ang pinakamalaking human rainbow sa kasaysayan. Suot ang mga t-shirt at sombrerong nagbigay ng kulay sa human rainbow, nagsama-sama ang buong PUP community upang basagin ang titulong dating hawak ng Malta Archipelago na nilahukan ng 1,750 katao noong 2003. Ito ay bahagi ng pagdiriwang ng ikasandaang anibersaryo ng PUP na may temang PUP, kabalikat ng pamahalaan sa pag-angat ng antas ng kabuhayan ng mamamayan. Ang Human Rainbow ay naglalayong baguhin ang imahe ng PUP at tulungang may parating sa gobyerno ang mga problema ng ating bansa sa pamamagitan ng pagsasama-sama at pagkakaisa tulad ng mga kulay sa rainbow. 10 years na pala, no?
Isang dekada na.
Sabihin niya, 10 years na di pala tayo nasa Guinness Book of World Records, diba?
Tama, iba talaga pag PUP.
Oo, kasi pag PUP yan, magaling. Isang patunay niyan. Noong CPA licensure exam noong July, kasama ang PUP sa top 10.
Wow. Meron na naman?
Yes! Diba? After mo, nagkaroon ng pagkakasunod. Ngayon, top 7 tsaka top 9, di ba? Sobrang galing.
Pero alam niyo ba kung paano nila achieve yan?
Oo nga.
Paano?
Paano di ba na-achieve?
Grabe, hindi naman ako
Panoorin natin siya sa PUP yan!
Ako si Ken Lester Gillian, graduate ng BS Accountancy sa PUP Manila, batch 3 2013. Katulad din ng mga iba, nag-solve, nag-practice, nagbasa. Ganun lang naman yun eh. Alam ko lang na mataas yung scores ko doon sa board exam na yun. Kasi maramdaman mo ng pag-exam, kilala mo naman yung sarili mo, ikaw na nakakakilala nun. Pero yung kung magtatap ako, hindi ako sigurado, hindi ko yun sure. Kasi syempre, di ba, madami kayo eh, hindi mo kilala kung sino yung mga kasabay mo eh. Mas maganda pala yung bago mag-board exam, makapagkwentuhan ka muna. Kasi pag mag-isa ka lang, makakaisip ka ng kung ano ng bagay. Mag-enjoy ka lang, parang. Tapos parang magkaroon ka kasi ng ng advocacy sa buhay mo. Ano bang gusto mong gawin? Ano bang pangarap mo? Nagpapasalamat talaga ako sa PUP. Dahil yung PUP, prepare niya kami, hindi lang para sa board exam, kundi para sa totoong buhay. Yung mga hirap ng exams, yung mga hirap ng mga pinapagawa ng prof, nakatulong yun sa amin bilang tao, hindi lang para sa board exam. Siyempre, pangalawa, yung pamilya ko. Nandiyan sila, sinusuportahan nila ako. Siyempre, yung gastos, di ba? Kailangan yun eh. Tapos, pangatlo, mga kaibigan. Siyempre, sipang mga kasama, yung mga kabatch mo, kaibigan. Kayo lang naman magtutulungan hanggang sa huli eh. Ako si Ken Lester Gillian, isang PUP-yan.
Tingnan mo si Kesa, ano kayong ginagawa mo? Kesa!
Kesa!
kayo magulo, nag-review ka para sa licensure exam ko.
Licensure exam? Eh, wala naman licensure exam yung course mo.
Ano?
Walang licensure exam yung course mo.
Paano maka-inspire sa PUP kung wala akong exam? Gusto ko mag-top din.
Ano pa naman, hindi lang naman yun yung way.
Oo, maraming
Inspire
ways.
ka ng schoolmates natin.
Oo, paano pa?
Dapat nga thankful ka, di mo na kailangan magsunod ng kilay. Ano pa naman
Dapat
ang kilay
thankful
mo?
ka, di ba? Kasi walang licensure exam sa course mo.
Oo nga.
But alam mo yung ano, thankful talaga ako. Speaking of thankful, kinakalit ko din, kakalabahan kita, alam mo yan. Ngayong September, atin sineselebrate ang World Gratitude Day. Kaya nga naman, sa kasabi, ang tanong ko sa mga schoolmates natin, ano ba ang pinagpapasalamat ninyo? Ganun na, ano ba ang
kaya?
Ano nga kaya?
Panoorin natin.
Gusto ko malaman eh, tara.
Hi, schoolmates! Naalala niyo ba ako? Salamat naman, kilala niyo pa rin ako. Oo nga, ako si Kesa at ito ang... Bigla ang tanong, bigla ang sagot. Walang kakeme-keme. Sabi? Kesabi! Schoolmates, salamat talaga kasi naaalala niyo pa yung kesabi, ah. At salamat kasi nandiyan pa rin kayo para sa support na. At salamat... Teka nga! Bakit mo ka pa salamat? Ay, oo nga pala. Kasi ngayong September ay World Gratitude Month. Kaya pala ang bait-bait ko parang pasalamat, di ba? Ngayong schoolmates, matanong ko kayo, ano bang pinagpapasalamat nyo ngayong World Gratitude Month? Alamin natin dito sa Kasabi. Tara! Ano ang pinagpapasalamat mo?
Isa lang naman yung pinagpapasalamat ko eh.
Ano yun?
Nakapunta ako dito.
Ikaw ate?
Pinakakain ko.
Pinakakain ka lang saan? Nasaan yung nakakain mo ngayon?
Pinagpapasalamat. Yun ang pinagpapasalamat ko.
Ano ba kayo guys?
Kapag nagagawin.
Ay, may jowa ka! Iba! Ang gondo!
Bakit ako?
Nagigising ako araw-araw.
Yung maliit pa rin na tuition sa PUP. Nag-survive sa PUP. For this awesome life.
Oh, awesome life!
Ikaw lang, kahit ano.
Ay, ano, sige, ganun lang.
Wala po. Nakain na po kami. Papasalamat po ako sa mga blessings na binibigay ko sa akin ni Dad.
Yeah, thank you so much. Kanina number 1. Ano ba kayo? Ang pinagpapasalamat mo?
Thank you.
Welcome!
lang po ako ang isang malinang umaga. Natatamasa ko ngayon yung 12 pesos na tuition.
Tamasa talaga. Paano pag nagtamasa na 12 pesos? Ayun,
Pinanganak ako.
Pinanganak ka! Wow! Ngayong September ay World Gratitude Month. So ano pinagpapasalamat mo?
Yun nga, nakapag-aral ako. Salamat sa magulang ko. Buhay pa ako.
Oo nga, salamat sa magulang mo. Ang puti na ng uniform mo. Deserve na lang habang mo dance. 1, 2, 3, go! Habang
Tapos na ako sa OJT. Buhay ko?
Ang buhay mo.
Bakit ikaw? Anong pinagpapasalamat mo?
Buhay ko?
Na hindi umuulan.
Ano ang pinagpapasalamat mo?
What?
What? Alright, so what are you thankful for?
Kalog na lang. Siyempre ngayon, thankful lang ako sa birthday ko ngayon.
Wow! Ganda na naman ako ng bigat! Happy birthday to you! Ay nalagaan, nalaman na natin kung ano ang sagot ng mga students natin sa tanong na ano nga ba ang pinagpapasalamat nila sa buhay nila? Mga sagot nila, ito yung tamang all answers. Una, salamat nila sa family nila. Pangalawa sa friends nila. Oo! At pangatlo naman sa buhay nila. At syempre, thankful din sila kasi nga nakapasok sila sa PUP. Kaya ba, thankful ba kayo na sa PUP kayo? Okay! Kaya marami talaga na magpasalamat tayo sa mga blessings sa buhay natin. Di ba yan? Yeah! Ano yung mga response niya? Muli ako si Kesa the Thankful!
Basta ako guys, thankful ako dahil inimbitahan niyo ako din sa PUP.
Alas na tolog ka ba?
Pero alam niyo,
Thankful ka talaga.
pero alam niyo, thankful din ako kasi may mga bagay ako nalaman. At importanteng malaman
Dami
din
mong
to ng
nalalaman,
mga
ha?
schoolmates natin.
Oo, kasi di ba kapag may bagyo, habag at bomb threat,
Bomb
di
threat,
ba?
oo.
Pwede makakuha ng information. Paano nga ba?
Ito, panoorin natin ang hashtag PUP!
Alam ko, tinanong ka pero alam ko.
Bagyo, habagat, bomb threats at iba pang emergency. Ang daming class suspensions recently, di ba? At At sa mga panahong ito, kailangan updated tayo sa latest happenings sa ating sintang paaralan. Pero paano nga ba tayo makakakuha ng tamang impormasyon in case of emergency? Yan ang maalin natin dito sa #PUP.
Number 1, ugaliing i-check ang PUP website o Facebook and Twitter account para sa mga announcement. Sa Facebook, ito ang facebook.com/PUPofficial. At sa Twitter, ito ang @thePUPofficial. Pwede mo rin i-check ang announcement sa official PUP website, ang pup.edu.ph. Number 2, i-text or tawagan ng numbers ng related government agencies. Updated rin ng iba't ibang agencies in times of class suspensions tulad ng National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council at ang local government unit ng location ng campus nyo. Number 3, magtanong sa mga school personnel o faculty. Kung nasa PUP ka lang naman at wala kang ibang maaaring source ng information, pwede kang magtanong sa mga administrative offices tulad ng chairpersons and dean's offices at sa communication management office. Number 4, i-check ang social media accounts ng PUP Create TV. Ang PUP Create TV, YouTube channel man, Facebook page o Twitter account ay kailanmay hindi bibiguin ang mga schoolmates sa paghahatid ng mga tamang impormasyon.
Ngayon, alam na natin kung saan tayo dapat kumuha ng mga updates, information, at announcements. Kaya mga schoolmates, huwag basta-basta maniniwala sa mga chismis, ha? Ako si Jello at ito ang #PUP.
Now we know, hindi na tayo maguguluhan.
Oo nga, buhok na naman magugulo ngayon, di ba?
Hindi naman.
At alam nyo, tayo dito sa PUP Create TV, ang unang magbibigay sa mga schoolmates natin ng mga tamang impormasyon.
Tama po yun.
Siyempre mga schoolmates, kung gusto nyo pang mapanood ang mga past episodes namin, i-like nyo lang ang official Facebook fan page ng PUP Create TV. Yan ang facebook.com/PUP Create TV.
At i-follow nyo kami sa Twitter at PUP TV Official.
At sa Instagram
at PUP Create TV.
At ang aming YouTube account po, that's youtube.com/PUPCreateTV.
At ito nga ang inyong online tambayan. Ito ang PUP Philippines. Di ako sabay-sabay sa awat lasan.
Noon pa man, malaki na ang naging bahagi ng mga kababaihan sa lipunang Pilipino. Kaisa sila sa marubdob na paghahangad ng kalayaan ng ating lahi. Kabilang sila sa paglinang ng ating makulay na sining at mayamang kultura. Kasapi sila sa pagtataguyod ng mga adhikain ng kapwa mamamayan at sa pagtugon sa mga pangangailangan ng lipunan. Katuwang sila sa pagtuklas sa mga larangan ng agham at medisina. Kapanalig sila sa pagpapairal ng batas, karapatan at katarungan para sa lahat. Kabahagi sila sa paglilingkod sa bayan at sa pagpapanatili ng demokrasyang Pilipino. Sa paglipas ng panahon, hindi nagmaliw ang kanilang pag-ibig sa ating inang bayan. Mga kababayan, ito ang alay ng mga kababaihang Pilipino para sa bayan. Tumayo po tayong lahat at sabay-sabay nating awitin ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Tayang magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, gulat na ng pag-ibig, sa manlulupin, di ka masisingil, sa lahat ng tulog, sa sinuhan at sa langit mong bahaw. Maginagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isang ng patawad mo'y tagumpay na nagliligid. Ang bituin ng araw na kailan pa malimalig.
Hi, I'm Engineer Florinda H. Oquindo, Director of the Alumni Relations and Career Development Office. The role of our office is to keep connections among students and alumni, provides complete range of services to students, alumni, and employers in the area of career development, graduates and professional schools preparations, employee relations, and campus recruitment. We also provide alumni and students with the tools and resources to help find success in all professional endeavors. To all freshmen, please come and visit us. Our office is located at N209 North Wing, 2nd floor.
Good morning, all of you. Good morning, everyone from the College of Accountancy and Finance, third year and fourth year student. Welcome to the Alumni Relation and Career Development webinar series, or the Career Development Webinar 2021. In behalf of the Alumni Relation and Career Development Office, we would like to formally welcome you on this webinar. So, we would like to thank you. First of all, we would like to thank you for taking your time and interest in joining this event and this activity, particularly our industry partners who has been with us today, the BDO, Banco de Oro Unibank, Alorica, China Banking Corporation, Paxet, Concentrix, and Red El Bizir. So we do have a whole day today for this career development seminar. So I would like to remind everyone that we are currently on the live stream. So we do have participants in the Zoom, and as well as we do have participants in our FB page, or the PUP Career Center page, Facebook page. Okay, guys, can you like and subscribe with that PUP or with that PUP Career Development Facebook page? Okay, please para po sa ating Zoom participants, entry with this webinar or entry via Zoom are not allowed. Hindi po namin i-allow yung pag-open nyo ng camera para hindi po masyadong ma-consume yung data nyo. And at the same time, you'll be allowed to open your camera on the Q&A section. For our Facebook stream, yung question and answer po, pwede kayong mag-post ng question nyo on the comment box. So, let's start our program with welcome remarks from our Vice President for Students Affairs and Services, Dr. Sinaida R. Sarmiento.
To our energetic ABPSAS and Director of Alumni Relations Career and Development Office, Engineer Flor Oquindo, Chief Jane Pulma, and Chief Mabel Belmonte, representatives from our industry partners and participating companies, other guests, and to our dear students, a pleasant morning to all of you. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you to this career talk. This is one of the activities of the university, specifically the ARCDO, where we would like our students to know the importance of building one's career path. Our dear students, Knowing and determining where you want to go and how to get there are our main goals why we have this career talk. Likewise, the university would like to help you achieve your goals in securing future jobs or internships. In this event, you will have the opportunity to meet your future employers, reputable and well-established companies representatives who will inspire and motivate you to work hard to achieve your future goals. To our industry partners and participating companies, thank you for partnering with us and for the opportunity that you are giving our students find their employment or find a good venue for their on-the-job training. May we maintain our intensive relationship and in the process both benefit from it. Rest assured that this university will continue to be your partner in your worthy endeavors. PUP will continue to cultivate its students' potential to make them more productive with exceptional skills and know-how which are needed by your companies. I would like to extend my deepest gratitude and utmost appreciation to ARCDO team headed by AB Pisas and Director Flor Oquindo, and to all participants and sponsors who made this event a success. Again, welcome to this career talk, and may our good Lord bless us all.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Sarmiento, for your warm welcome remarks on our activity, on today's activity. So, before we formally start, I would like to discuss a few housekeeping or few reminders for our participants via Zoom and via Facebook page. So, let me share my screen. Okay. As I mentioned kanina po, we do have two participants for this webinar. Our participants, for our Zoom participants, these are the few reminders. Please remember to mute your microphone while the webinar proper is ongoing. Please remember that this webinar is on live stream. And please raise your hand so we can unmute you on the Q&A portion for each after each speaker or topic. So you can also use your Zoom chat to raise your questions, insight, and comments after the training or after the webinar session. For our stream participants, our Facebook page participants, you can use your comment section for your questions, insights, and comments. Please introduce yourself, starting with your name, year and section or branches. And please take note that these comments, insights, and suggestions are monitored and will be including your question during the webinar Q&A. For everybody, please make sure to accomplish the evaluation form flash at the Zoom chat or in the comment section of our stream at the end of our session. So your digital certificate will be released 2 to 3 weeks after the conduct of this activity and will be given to those who attended, participated, and accomplished the evaluation form given at the end of the session. Please be reminded that it is only accessible 6 hours after the webinar. Okay. So, maraming salamat sa aming participants for this webinar. So, para simulan ang ating webinar for today, our first speaker or first industry speaker is a full-fledged or a full-service universal bank in the Philippines, and it provides a complete array of industry leading products and services, including the lending, maybe by corporate or consumer, deposit taking, foreign exchange, trust and investment, credit cards, corporate cash management, and remittance in the Philippines. BDO is an institutional strength and value-added products and services that hold key for each successful business relationship with a customer. It is a member of the SM Group or one of the country's largest and most successful conglomerate with businesses responding to retail, mall operation, property development, both residential, commercial, hotel and resort, financial services. So let's, without any further ado, let's welcome the Vice President for Recruitment, Ms. Doris Gregorio. But please, watch muna natin yung ABP ng BDO po. Saglit lang po. I'll be sharing my screen.
In a world where big numbers count, what counts the most is one word. You. Game changers, forward thinkers, problem solvers. We welcome different kinds of you. Different sizes, different identities, different experiences. Together, we'll be different. Together, we'll create a difference. Be part of the team that finds ways. Do join BDO.
Okay, to discuss about the new normal recruitment process, let's welcome BDO Unibank, Ms. Doris Gregorio, Vice President for Recruitment.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. So let me just, hi, good morning. Let me just politely correct you. It's actually Assistant Vice President and not Vice President. Thank you for promoting me, though.
Okay, pasensya na na-promote.
It's okay. It's
okay. Thank you, ma'am.
So thank you for inviting me. I was here a month ago in the same online career webinar, and so let me introduce myself again. So for the benefit of those who are part of the College of Accountancy and Finance. So my name is Doris Gregorio. My nickname is D, as in DI. So I am part of the recruitment team of BDO Unibank. So thank you so much for watching the video earlier. I purposely did not prepare a presentation for this morning because I would like this to be as free-flowing as possible. So let me just add to what was earlier said about BDO as a company. So yes, we are part of the SM group of company. BDO has been in operations in the Philippines since 1976. And I am sure you have seen the several branches of BDO in wherever you are, whether you are in Metro Manila or in the provinces. We have 1,500 more or less branches nationwide. And we also have around 38,500 plus employees. So we are actually approaching 4,000 before the year ends. Okay, so later on, I will encourage you to visit our website to know more about our company and the career opportunities that we have. Okay, so let me jump right into the topic that was assigned to our company, which is recruitment in the new normal. So I would like to thank PUP for giving us this opportunity to talk about, I would say, one of the relevant topics in the recruitment industry these days, which is how we are doing things in the midst of a pandemic. So as we all know, COVID-19 has changed the landscape of practically every aspect of our daily lives. So where it, business, tourism, entertainment, and even education. So for everyone, the term social distancing kind of forces to make drastic adjustments. 2 years ago, who would have thought that you will take your classes, work with your classmates and teachers on your projects and reports? virtually wherever you are, whether you are in Metro Manila or in the provinces. So the same goes with the workforce. In the area of recruitment, we have made a lot of adjustments on how we do things. I would like to talk about three basic steps that everyone is familiar with. So, first of all, how we attract talents. Second, how we interview. And third, how we bring in or how we onboard the successful candidates. So I will start first with how we attract or how we source our talents. So because this is close to your hearts, because you are our future and potential talents that we will bring in. So you have seen BDO's Bidu video earlier. Before COVID-19 happened, we have been relying on our usual and traditional approaches in terms of sourcing, like posters situated in areas like our partner schools, our other independent organizers. As you know, we are partners with the SM group of companies, so sometimes we conduct job fairs there as well. LGUs, or wherever we hold our physical job fairs. I believe in PUP, we have attended a considerable number of job fairs in the past. Now, since practically everyone we know has access to the internet, we have to be more creative in capturing the attention of our target market. The way to do that is to ramp our digital presence so we can be more visible to prospective hires. When we interview now, even the candidates fresh from college would say that they have seen our ad online or saw the videos that we posted in our Facebook or LinkedIn page. So beyond online job seeking, candidates, probably such as yourselves, would now expect the next steps to be done virtually because practically everything is done virtually, like this webinar. Before, we would go to the partner schools and physically attend these webinars, but right now, after this, everything can be done virtually. I can go back to my desk and do my business after speaking to everyone. So similarly, when we interview, okay, and when we coordinate with our business units, everything is done virtually. So just to share with you, a recent study was done by JobStreet. So everyone is familiar with JobStreet, right? It says that posted ads with online interviews perform better 50% more than those that require face-to-face interviews. And why is that? So I will now move on to the next, which is the interview process itself. So we have already brought in the talents, right? So now we are going to screen them, we are going to interview them. So when you think of interview, what comes to mind? Okay, so when you think of interview, you think of face-to-face, right? So you hear from your older relatives, from your friends, or maybe from your higher batchmates that when they are scheduled for an interview, they have to physically come to the company's premises to attend that interview. Obviously, the pandemic changed all of that. BDO as a company also made adjustments, both from the human resources side and also from the hiring department or unit side. So for example, accountancy, okay? So we invested on technologies such as Zoom, MS Teams, and WebEx. For a company that is used to doing everything physically or face-to-face, we have really made a lot of adjustments. However, we found this method beneficial mostly for our candidates. Okay, not just for ourselves, but mostly for our candidates. And this was what I was talking about earlier. They are more punctual because they do not need to travel to attend the interview. They are more relaxed because the environment is not very tense. So unlike, when you come to a face-to-face interview where some of them tend to be nervous, or I would say if you came from like a 1 hour or 2 hour commute and you're very tired, you're very preoccupied, you are not able to concentrate during the interview. So in effect, if you take out the commute, if you take out the tense environment, they perform well during the interview. And that was what I was referring to earlier when I said that 50% perform well, no, if there is an online interview. So, in adjusting to this online interview or doing recruitment in the new normal, we have had challenges along the way. like our recruitment officers have made a lot, had to adjust, no? However, for the last year and a half that we have been doing this, I would say that we have gotten used to it. Okay? I personally do not see us reverting or going back to the face-to-face interviews even after the pandemic, or even if the pandemic ends, because we have proven this method to be more efficient and less time consuming. So, students of the College of Accountancy and Finance, when you graduate and apply yourselves in 1 or 2 years, you will be expecting this in most, if not all, of the companies that you are applying for. I really assure you of that. Now, now that we're done with all of the interviews, with all of the screening, we onboard the candidates. So for the submission of necessary pre-employment documents, we have now shifted from manual submission, wherein the candidates submit face-to-face and bring all of the documents, to submitting them online, of course. Online is always the solution to all of our challenges these days. So we ask our candidates to encrypt these documents, or documents such as transcript of records, certificate of graduation, scanned copies of NBI, what have you, and send them to us via email. Any discussion or walkthrough on the recruitment process or how they fill up an application form or what have you, everything is done via phone or via video. Even our new hire orientation is done virtually. So similar to this one. So our new hires can attend the new employee orientation in the comforts of their own home or wherever they are. So an added precautionary measure that our company did is the pre-hiring antigen test. So everyone has heard about the PCR test, right? So we have like an antigen test wherein they can wait for the results for 15 minutes. Okay, we have to ensure the protection of our employees by doing this. Okay, and not just for our employees, but also for our incoming new hires as well. Okay, so these changes that I have just described are only initial ones. As we go through this pandemic, we, along with, I'm sure, the other companies in the industry, or probably the ones that are going to speak today, foresee a lot of changes in the business world. And the only way to cope with these changes is to adopt in the best way that we possibly can. So I mentioned, and I promised earlier to keep this short. So I hope you got, a lot of insights from how we do recruitment in the new normal. So I encourage everyone to visit our website. It's just very easy to remember, bdo.com.ph/careers, if you would like to learn more about the opportunities that we have. So with this, I would like to thank you for spending the last couple of minutes listening to this particular topic, and you hope you find this helpful in the future, especially when you look for jobs. Thank you very much, and I will be open to questions later. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Maraming salamat, Miss Doris. So let me share first the open forum guidelines. Okay, so for our open forum or the Q&A forum guidelines for our Zoom participant, when asking question, please introduce yourself with your name, course, year, and section, or your branches or campuses or other school. If I guess meron po kasi akong nakita sa chat room kanina na galing from shout out from the National Teachers College. Please raise your hand so that our team may unmute you, and please feel free to turn on your camera when asking question. You may also use the Zoom chat to type out your questions. For our stream participants or the Facebook page participants, please free to use the comment section for your insight, comments, and suggestion for this webinar. Okay? So, may tanong po ba? Check po natin ang ating, wait lang po check po natin ang ating chat box at ang ating Facebook page. Okay, mukhang wala. Ma'am, ako na lang ang magtatanong. Mukhang wala pang gustong magtanong. Ma'am, Marami po sa ating participants ngayon is third year ng College of Accountancy and College of Arts and Letters.
Okay.
And this pandemic po kasi ay naka-virtual or sabihin na natin after the transition of this pandemic, siguro po ang OJT namin is on virtual, limited face-to-face at wala pa pong face-to-face. Ang BDO po ba, meron po ba silang virtual, limited face-to-face or na OJT na pwedeng i-offer sa College of Accountancy? And by the way, the College of Accountancy will be having their first OJT on October 2021, ma'am.
October 2021. Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
that's gonna be a few months from now.
Yes, ma'am.
Honestly, we still have not looked into it, okay, because we are limiting the the people coming inside the premises. As I mentioned earlier, we are practicing precautionary measures. So we have not looked into that because we also would like to protect our employees. But that's something that we can look at in the next couple of months to accommodate universities. I'm sure it's not just PUP who will be doing that, but other universities as well. But no, there's none at the moment.
Wait lang, mama. Chine-check ko ang ating Facebook page kung merong comment and section. Mukhang wala pa. Okay, shout out tayo sa mga participants natin from AVELS or College of Arts and Letters, from College of Accountancy, and PUP branches and campuses. O, ilan po ba ang branches and campuses natin? Ano po mga branch? Please type in your branch and campuses para ma-acknowledge po namin kayo. So, Mr. Angelo Noel Manuel from the National Teacher College, welcome po sa webinar ng PUP. Okay? So guys, meron po ba kayong tanong tungkol sa new recruitment process ng BDO Unibank? Welcome pong magtanong. Wala pa pong bayad. Yung mga gusto pong mag-OJT, baka po, ma'am, wala po bang direction, Ma'am Doris? Wala po bang direction pa or wala pa po ba sa project ng BDO ang magkaroon ng virtual, kahit virtual OJT for the College of Accountancy and Finance and or College of Arts and Letters or College of Business?
There's none yet, as I mentioned, but we can look into it because that's a very good point, no? Admittedly, we have not looked into it yet. So no plans or no projects yet. But if we see that it's necessary, we can look into it.
Okay. Pero ma'am, after po nito, kung halimbawa ma'am magkaroon man ng plano na mag-a-admit kayo ng virtual OJT, ano po ba yung mga possible requirements na pwedeng i-prepare na or sabihin na natin during the face-to-face or limited face-to-face OJT, ano po yung kailangan i-prepare ng mga bata, ma'am?
Our usual requirements for internship would really be the recommendation from their respective colleges or the departments, and then of course a copy of their resume and then copy of their grades.
Okay, third year and fourth year. So, ma'am, welcome din po ba ang hindi graduate ng College of Accountancy, business course, or ano po ba yung mga course na pwedeng mag-OJT sa inyo?
The ones that you mentioned, business courses, are the usual OJTs. But we can also look at information technology or those that are that have computer-related courses. Those are the usual possible internship.
Okay po. Tapos ma'am, may mga, ano po yung mga hiring nyo ngayon? Baka po may gustong mag-part-time at gustong mag-full-time sa inyo, nagka-under ng college? Or welcome po ba yung mga undergraduate sa inyo?
At the moment, we still prefer graduates for our full-time positions.
Okay, ma'am. So, ano pong ang process, ma'am? Ano po ang process ng recruitment? para po sa pag gusto nilang maging teller or gusto nilang maging developer or employee ng BDO, ma'am? Saan po sila pupunta at ano po yung mga steps na pwede nilang gawin?
So as mentioned earlier, we have the website. It's bdo.com.ph/careers. So it's very easy to remember. So they have an option there to apply, and then they will be directed to a site where they can send their application. We also have various posts for our different vacancies in Job Street. You can just search for BDO Unibank, as well as in LinkedIn. So and then they will be directed to our sourcing team internally so that they can be pre-screened.
Okay. Maraming salamat, Ma'am Doris, for the information. By the way, baka mamaya dagsain na tayo ng mga aplikante. Opo. So, handa po ba ang BDO? Pag dinagsa
Yes, we
ng
are ready.
aplikante. Okay. Sige, ma'am. So, ma'am, dito sa Career Development Webinar, on this session po kasi, hindi lang College of Accountancy and Finance. We also do have the College of Arts and Letters. Meron po kaming AB English, meron po kaming AB Filipino, Theater Arts. So, baka gusto rin nilang mag-OJT. Wala po ba kayong communication department na pwede sa kanila? Or creative or something na pwede nilang pagpasukan or pwede nilang pag-OJT-han, ma'am?
Eventually. So we have a marketing communications group. Okay, so that group takes care of our internal communications as well as our external communications. Ito yung mga press releases that BDO sends out in our website or whenever we need to send press releases. So yes, we are in need of mga creatives, marketing, no? Digital, even digital marketing, we would need those as well.
Mga communication. Oh, guys, AB English, baka gusto niya ring mag-apply as OJT. So, by the way, ma'am, meron daw po bang allowance na pinoprovide si BDO? Or kahit food allowance lang. At least, ma'am, na-cover ko na lahat, di ba?
Oo nga eh. There is allowance.
May allowance daw po, guys. So,
of course, but it's not very, it's just enough to supplement the expenses.
Okay, ma'am. So, at least, guys, kung meron pang tanong, pwede nyo namang email or pwede kayo mag-email sa office namin. Then, i-connect namin kayo with BDO. And by the way, ma'am, siguro expect by October 2021, mag-start na rin po kasi ang internship ng aming mga estudyante. So, kaya lang yun nga, virtual. Baka pwede nyo na pong ipakiusap sa taas na mapayagan ang virtual OJT sa BDO. At least makatulong po tayo, both industry and the academy as well. Okay, maraming salamat. Mukhang walang masyadong tanong, ma'am. Ako lang ang nagtanong. Okay.
That's okay.
Thank you, Ma'am Doris. And I'll see you again. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you po. Sige, ma'am. Okay, for our second speaker, for our second industry partner, who will be joining with us. Wait lang po, Okay. Our second industry partner is a leading provider of the business process and consumer satisfaction outsourcing solution that span the entire customer life cycle. So they are not just technical in their way, but they do make lives better in one interaction at a time. So they do have 14 countries, 100 locations, and 100,000 employees in one planet. So one of the largest provider of the customer experience in the North American consumer with 200 major clients worldwide, including wireless provider, healthcare provider, banks, retailer, car manufacturer, regulated utility company, and largest technology company. So let's our second industry partner. Without any further ado, let's welcome Alorica Philippines. So please watch the AVP of Alorica, and later I'll be introducing the speaker.
This is Alex, and this is his first day at his new job. He's a little nervous. We get it. But something here feels different. Something feels better. There's excitement everywhere. There's enthusiasm. There's a sense of camaraderie. Alex wonders what's going on. What's going on is that Alorica is a different kind of company. One that makes a commitment to its people first. One that was built around a single vision, to make lives better, one interaction at a time. This isn't just a people business. It's a people-to-people business. And if we want our team to make meaningful connections with others across the globe, they first need to be respected, understood, and empowered. So we encourage all our employees to grow, to pursue new ideas and interests, and above all, to become the people they want to be. People with passion, people dedicated to performance and to embracing all kinds of possibilities, and people that will help us to make a difference for our colleagues, our clients, our customers, and our communities. Alex doesn't know it yet, but he's going to be a big part of that difference. And hey, look, he's starting a softball team, making connections already. We love that. Engaged, energized, and ready to deliver insanely great experiences. That's what we're all about. And we get there by doing something incredibly revolutionary, yet painfully simple. We treat our people like people. Passion, performance, possibilities. Alorica.
Okay, to discuss about career readiness, goal setting, and matching your skills in jobs, please let's welcome. Nandiyan na po ba si Mr. Joshua Montano? Miss Aya?
Hi, Jane.
Yes, ma'am.
Joshua is actually preparing for 10
This is
a.m.
Alex.
We didn't expect that the first speaker would take a very short talk. But yeah, he is currently logging in now.
Okay po, sige. Ma'am, can you introduce the Alorica first before I can introduce Mr. Joshua Montano, please?
Yes, of course. So good morning, everybody. My name is Aya Mortel, and I am from the Alorica recruitment team. I am with our learning and development, one of our learning and development supervisors, Hannah Manabat. So she's also with me, and along with us is Joshua Montano, who will be our speaker for this morning. So Alorica Philippines is the third largest BPO in the Philippines, and currently we're at 38,800 employees in the Philippines. So we're very happy that you're joining your webinar this morning. Currently, Ms. Jane and the rest of the PUP students, we are hiring and ramping for July up until December. So year-round, actually year-round, we're hiring. And Alorica Philippines is also hiring for non-agent vacancies. So apart for agent vacancies, Alorica is also hiring for corporate vacancies. So apart from corporate vacancies and agent vacancies, we are also accepting virtual interns or virtual internship, but limited to recruitment and admin only. So in the next few slides later on, Joshua will be talking about career preparedness and goal setting to help prep the students or to help you guys to prep on your employment requirements and answering interview questions, and also your additional job requirements. So there. Thank you, Jane.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, Miss Aya. So, I guess nakalagi na si Sir Joshua Montano. So, Mr. Joshua Montano began his career in Alorica as customer service representative for a telco account in January 2017. In less than a year, he got promoted in a learning and development trainer where he stays since then. So, Joshua is highly proficient in rolling out the new employee orientation, quality enhancement, and soft skills training for customer care and technical support program. He is also well versed in facilitating organizational development training sessions that target management, behavioral, and technical skills. So without any further ado, please let's welcome Mr. Joshua Montano, Human Resource Development Management graduate from Trinity University of Asia, and he is currently the learning and development trainer, Q1 2018 top trainer in his business verticals. So to discuss about goal setting and matching skills to jobs, please take over na po, Mr. Joshua Montano.
Okay, thank you so much. Hi, good morning. Right, let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Joshua Montano. Right, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So, right, let me go ahead and share. Right, so there. So welcome, hi. So my name is Joshua Montano, and I am here to help you become certain in an uncertain world. So I am here to talk about career readiness, right? Goal setting and matching your skills to a job. So I will be talking about two things, right? I'll be talking about setting goals and how to match your skills with a job. So our agenda for, well, at least the 30 minutes, right, to 45 minutes that I'll be speaking is we are going to talk about setting goals, right? We're going to talk about knowing your skills. Of course, that's really important. And how to match said skills with a job that you're targeting, right? I believe we have 3 different colleges that are joining us today. And yeah, I'm going to help you find, right, or at least the formula, right, on how to find what is it that you'd really be a fit for. And I'll talk a little bit about Alorica, and we'll open the floor for possible questions that you guys might have after we talk about everything. So let's go ahead and get right to it, right? So let's go ahead and talk about career readiness. And yeah, let's go ahead and start. So I told you guys earlier, right, that I am here to help you become certain in an uncertain world. With the situation that we have right here, or with the situation that we're all going through right now, building a career might be the very last thing on your plate right now. There are a lot of things on, there are a lot of things that seem more of a priority right now than thinking about what you want to do in the future, right? I know some of you are definitely finishing projects, submitting homework. Some of you might even be finishing your OJT, your internship or OJT, right? And of course, most of all, surviving a pandemic. The thing is though, right? A lot of you guys, or most of you guys, are third years, and it's right around the corner, right? And in reality, you taking, the helm and being in front of your career and everything is a lot closer than you think, right? And in getting prepared for a career, there are a lot of things to consider, right? So we're going to talk about 2 things, right? Setting goals and finding a job that'll fit your skills. All right. So let's start with goals, right? So that's the very first thing that we want to talk about, right? And before that, let's go ahead and define what are goals, okay? Goals are defined as the object of a person's ambition or effort. It's something that we want to arrive at, right? It's our desired result. And goals drive behaviors over the long run. It's what you'd want to achieve. It's what you'd strive to get, right, as you go along, right? And let's take a few moments to set goals. Okay, let's take a few minutes to set goals, and probably a minute, right? And if you guys have access to the chat box, or you could just think of it, right? I'd like you to set a goal right now. Right? It could be something you want to achieve in a year. It could be something you want to achieve in 2, 3 years, right? Doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a goal that you want to set. Yeah, career wise, it could be a personal goal. Okay. So yeah, that doesn't have to be about anything. As long as you set a goal, right? Then we're good. So set a goal, and as you think of the goal, right? Or as you think of your goal, please hold on to that, right? And it's something that we'll talk about later. Okay. So let's say one of your goals, right? One of the goals that you pick would be, I want to be successful, right? I want to be successful. I wanna do great. Now, that's all well and good, right? It's all well and good, or being able to want to be successful is a good goal to set. But right, the thing is, setting a goal, right, to be successful is a little poorly defined and vague. Right? What do we mean by that? So, right, I want to be successful, but yes, what is your measure of success? Right? And how would you be able to say that you're successful? How would you go about it? Right? So, one thing that we're going to look at when we talk about goal setting later is that setting goals, right, is just as important as working on our goals, which is, of course, something that we'll look at in just a bit. Right. So the objective of what we're supposed to talk about right now are what we're going to learn about is how to effectively set goals. Now, why do we even want to set goals, right? What is it for, or what is the point in setting a goal, right? So there are many benefits, right, to goal setting, right? So let's start with the first talking point, which is can be used in any aspect of life. What's great about setting goals is you're not limited to it being applicable, right, just for work, for career, right? It's not just that. You have a lot of yeah, you have a lot of ways to use it, or there it can be used in any aspect of life, right? You could use it for work, you could use it for life, you could use it for money, right? You can even diet goals, right? If you wanna go on a diet, right? You can even use it for love, right? Travel. So a lot, right? There are a lot of ways for you to go about it, right? You have a lot of goals that you can set. And another added benefit is that it really helps you think about what you really want, right? I remember being a third year, right? I was a third year human resources development management student. And I remember, right, while finishing my internship, I always thought about that, right? Like, what am I gonna do when I'm finally done, right? Like when I'm out the gate and I'm there. What do I really want to do? Because I've wanted to be a lot of things, right? I've wanted to be a lot of things. I've wanted to do a lot of stuff, and goal setting has helped me, although albeit me learning about it a little later in life, right? It has helped me understand what I really want and what I want to achieve, right? And what's great is as early as now we could start, right, evaluating what we really want to do. And another great benefit is that it helps with time management, right? Um, I know a lot of you are crunching the numbers. A lot of you are working hard to submit requirements, right? And there would be times wherein you think that, hey, you know what? I don't have enough time in a day, right? I have 24 hours in a day. I have to allot some of that for sleep. I have to allot some of that for friends, family, and then I have schoolwork, right? A lot of you guys are probably trying to think of, hey, you know what, if there was a way for me to stretch time. But the thing is, right, one good thing about setting goals is that when you have a target, right, when you have something to focus on, all the unnecessary things in your life is something that you can put off for later, or something that you you find that you don't really need to do, right? And that frees up, right, and helps you manage your time more effectively. And lastly, right, it helps build confidence. When you know what you want, right, when you know what you want and you know how to go about it, you're going to be a lot sure in life, right? You'd be a lot more confident in doing the things that you do, right? So that's one great thing about being able to set goals, right? The more you prepare, the more the more you go about it, right? The more confident you become. And the more confident you become, the easier things will be in life. So we've set why it's important to set goals and we know what goals are. So how do we become effective goal setters? So there are two things that I'd like to talk about today. We have SMART goals and Locke's goal setting theory. But I'll start with SMART goals first. Okay. So let's talk about SMART goals. So the two things that I'm going to talk to you about today, or the two things that we're going to cover today, they're not exactly a step-by-step guide that you need to follow. Okay, it's more of something that you could use as a baseline, right, when it comes to setting goals, and something that you do as you go along. Okay, so let's go with SMART goals. Okay, so for SMART goals, we have specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. Now, the thing about SMART goals is when you want to create goals for yourself, you can follow the SMART goal pattern or the SMART pattern. So let's start with specific. So when you're setting goals, it has to be specific. So think of what you really want to achieve. Okay. And it has to be something that is targeted. So you could say that, hey, I want to, let's say you're targeting, let's say for some of you guys that are aiming for law school right later on, right? I want to be a lawyer, right? So let's say that's your goal. I want to be a lawyer. So you have to set your goal and it has to be specific. So let's say you finish your pre-law course, let's say in a year, right? So I want to be in law school in a year, right? Or I want to start law school in exactly a year. So that's something specific, right? Or it could be something related to, let's say, folks in, let's say, accounting, right? Or in financial management. I want to program, or I want to work in a program that I want to work in a company or a top accounting firm, right? I want to be in a top accounting firm in 2 years or in a year. Or I want to work in a bank or an esteemed financial institution, right? 2-3 months right after I graduate. So it has to be specific, right? When you set goals or when you follow the SMART pattern, it has to be specific. Okay, so think of what you really want to do. It might be hard at first, but as you go along, right, you're going to start to really understand what is it you really want to do, right? So specific has to be specific, and it could be even something that you use, let's say, for weight loss, right? Like, hey, I want to lose weight, right? Let's say I want to go on a diet, right? So you have to be specific with your target. So let's say you want to lose 30 pounds, right? You want to lose 30 pounds. That's a good specific target, right? And we'll talk about the other aspects of setting a SMART goal in just a bit. So has to be specific. So let's say I want to lose weight. So a little vague. So we want to be specific. I want to lose, let's say 30 to 40 pounds. So let's say 40 pounds. Now, next is it has to be measurable. So when we say measurable, right, it is something that you can track, right? So again, it's a way for you to measure, like, hey, am I doing good? How am I doing with the target or the goal that I have so far? So let's say that your target is to let's say apply, right, as a, or to apply in an accounting firm, right? Let's say you want to work in a major accounting firm. How are you going along with your application, right? Have you taken steps to achieve that? Right? Have you gathered the necessary requirements? Have you submitted important and relevant documents? So as long as it's measurable, right? You can measure your progress, then you're on the right track. So number one has to be specific and it has to be measurable, or your progress should be measurable. So another important aspect of that is, right, let's say you want to lose weight, right? Or another important thing to look at. So let's say the example is for us to, let's say, to have a particular target weight, right? So measurable, right? Are you losing weight? Is it currently coming along nicely, right? So specific, measurable, and then attainable. So next is realistic, right? So it's nice to have goals and to have dreams, right? But we should always operate on it being realistic. Is it something that is possible? Is it something that is feasible? Given the time frame that I'd have, which is something we'll cover later, given the time frame that I have and the current skills that I have, right? I want to be the head of this top accounting firm in 3 years. Seems a little far-fetched, right? Seems a little difficult to, it seems to be a little too steep, right? For us to actually hit the target. Now, so we want to remember, right? It has to be realistic, or it has to be something that is, something tangible. It is something challenging, right? Which is something we'll talk about with Locke's goal setting theory. It has to challenge you, but at the same time, it also has to be realistic, right? It's something that you can achieve. So baby steps, right? You don't have to, you don't need to run when you're learning to walk, right? So start slow, right? So specific, measurable, and attainable. So it has to be specific, has to be something you can measure and something that you can track its progress or track the progress of, and realistic. Okay. Now, next is relevant, right? So it basically shows the why to your how. So yes, you wanna, you know how to go about it, but is it really relevant to what you really wanna achieve or your overall goal right now? Right. Um, Again, that's why it helps you really find out what you really want to do in life, right? So make sure that it's relevant with whatever long-term goals that you're setting. And finally, right, we have time bound. So for time bound, you have to set a deadline when it comes to setting a SMART goal. When would you need this, right? Or when would you need this? When is it, or when are you targeting this to happen? So the importance of a goal being time bound is that it sets you, again, it places a timetable and it lets you work on it, right? Because if you don't make it time bound, then you're just gonna have, or you might just put off things for later, right? So you want to make it time bound, right? In line with the other things that you want to achieve, right? At work, we do this all the time for projects, right? So part of what I do is, apart from training new hires, is I do a lot of projects on the side, right? These are add value or quality of life projects to help out my teammates, to help out trainees. And these time, or these targets, right, have to be, or these projects um, follow the SMART goal so that it's easier to work on it, right? So let's say I'm thinking of a way to help trainees and trainers out, right? So how do I go about it? How do I make their life easier? Right. So I pattern my target, I pattern my goal setting with SMART goals so that I know, and it's easier to work on said goal, right? And always has to be time bound, because if it's time bound, again, you're gonna, if you're working on the clock, you have a particular target time when you're set to finish, so you can check if you need to pick up the pace, right? Or if there are other things that need to be evaluated. So specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound, right? And I'm gonna let that marinate, right? I'm gonna let that marinate while you guys are thinking of what to do. And one thing that you could try, right, is I'd like you guys to try and apply the SMART goal setting technique, right? Or I'd like you guys to try out the SMART goals pattern right now. It could be with the goal that you set earlier, right? If if it was, let's say, getting hired in a particular company, right, or working in a particular industry or business, or let's say if you're pursuing additional education, then yeah, you could set that or target that as a SMART goal. But don't limit yourself to don't limit yourself to just, let's say, work stuff, right? You could also pursue other things like, let's say, a personal goal, right? I want to, let's say, yeah, again, right, weight loss, pretty common, or let's say working out, right, or whatever targets that you might possibly have. So you can try that and see if it works for you, right? So that's one. So that's SMART goals. So that's a smart way of setting goals or your goal setting. Now, another thing that I'd like to talk about would be something that's similar to SMART goals, right? But at the same time is in its entirely different playing field as well. And that's Locke's goal setting theory. So before we start with Locke's goal setting theory, so let me introduce you guys to researcher Edwin Locke. So Edwin Locke is right. So Edwin Locke is a researcher, corporate researcher, and he found right. He found that the goals that you set, right, the goals that you set affect your performance, and he was able to find out. And again, this is based and grounded on study, right? He found out that people who set specific and difficult goals performed better than those who set general and easy goals. Now, a lot of factors would affect that, right? But what he was able to surmise was that people who set challenges or people who challenge themselves tend to perform better overall, right? And basically, right, he was able to formulate 5 principles of goal setting. Now, some of these might actually be related, right, or would look similar to your SMART goals as well, right? So you don't really use either, Locke's goal setting theory or SMART goals. You can use them in tandem, right? So SMART goals is more of an easy way, right, to introduce effective goal setting. And Locke's goal setting theory, or the basic principles of goal setting, is more of something that you can apply not just to yourself, but let's say when you're managing your own team, your own folks in the future. So let's talk about, right, the 5 basic principles of goal setting. Let's start with the first one, which is clarity, right? So clarity, it has to be something that is measurable. So similar to the very first thing that we have for SMART goals, right? So it has to be measurable, right? Rather than something that is poorly defined. And it should be specific. So just like the first one, right? And we have a timeline. So think of clarity as your condensed SMART goals all in one, right? So that's clarity. So has to be time bound, has to be relevant, right? And has to be specific, right? So let's say your goal again is, let's say 30 to 40 pounds, or 40 pounds in 4 months, right? Or 6 months, depending on how you want to go about it. So clarity, you have a particular target. Now, next is challenge, right? So for challenge, is it something that's difficult, right? So it should have a decent level of difficulty in order to motivate you to strive toward the goal, right? I'd like you guys to think, right, at this particular moment, I'd like you guys to think of something that you've always wanted to do, but you were always too scared to try, right? Think of something that you've always desired, you've always thought of doing, but you kept telling yourself, nah, I don't think I can do it, right? I don't think I'm cut out for that. I don't think I'm skilled enough to be successful in that, right? So I'd like you guys to think, right? I'd like you guys to let that marinate for a couple of minutes and think of something that you've always desired, right? Think of something that you've always wanted to try it, but you've always been too scared to try. Okay. And if it's something that's worthy of setting as a challenge, right, is something that you can if you want to set as a goal, then why not, right? You might actually surprise yourself. So we have clarity, and then we have challenge. So it has to be, of course, the appropriate amount of difficulty. Now, Josh, what if I shoot too far? Or what if I set my task, or what if my challenge is super difficult? That's okay, because we have something to cover that in just a bit. So next up is commitment. So commitment is putting deliberate effort in achieving your goal, right? So when you set it, when you set a goal, right, or when you set a target, it has to, or you have to put effort, right? You have to put in effort. You really want to do it. And not just that, right? You also want to let other people know about what you're doing. It could be a trusted friend, it could be your peers, right? It could be family. So basically, you need someone to hold you accountable for what you're doing, right? So they can monitor your progress, and you're holding yourself accountable to someone. Like, hey, how are you doing with your project? How are you doing with your task, right? And it serves as a goalpost, so to speak, right? To check how you're going along, whatever your target is or whatever your priority would be. So have someone monitor you, and again, right, make sure that it is something measurable, which is something that will lead us to feedback, right? So for feedback, make sure that when you set your goal, there are ways for you to check your progress when trying to push towards that particular goal, right? Monitor, right? So similar to measurable. So can you, or how are you measuring whatever task it is that you're doing? Is it something that people are doing, or is it something that's coming along nicely, or are there things that you need to tweak, right? And the importance of feedback is when it's starting to be a little too difficult, right? When it's becoming a little too difficult for, let's say, for whatever it is that you're targeting, right? Or when it starts to become a little difficult, what's great about goal setting theory, or the goal setting theory, is you can actually tweak your goal. So let's go back to the whole weight loss thing, right? So let's say 40 pounds, right? 40 pounds, 4 months, 6 months, and let's say 4 months, 40 pounds in 4 months. And let's say it's a little too difficult at 6 months, right? 40 pounds, 6 months. It's starting to turn out to be a little harder than you thought it would be. It's better, right? Instead of just going cold turkey and stopping, you might want to tweak your target. You could increase the months, right? 40 pounds in 8 months, 7 months, or you could probably do less, right? 30 pounds 4 months. So what's great about feedback is there's a way for you to address changes that are happening. If it's starting out to be a little too difficult because, let's say, you're having a harder time focusing, right, at work or at school because diet and exercise is, let's say, proving to be a little too much, right? Then you might want to tweak it so that you want to dial down on, let's say, eating less and whatnot, right? So at least you're not giving up on your target, right? You're still on goal, you're still on target. It's just that you have to change it based on the needs or based on the situation, right? If it's looking to be a little too difficult. And finally, right after feedback, we have task complexity, right? So for task complexity, if you're going to give yourself a really difficult challenge, and if it involves learning an entirely new skill or you upping your game to the next level, right? If that happens, then give yourself time to learn, right? Don't expect you to be at 100% right away, right? You you don't have to understand it right away. If it's something that you have to learn first, then give yourself some time. You're not going to be at 100% right off the bat, right? So give yourself a chance to get past that learning curve so that you can do better, right? So you want to set yourself up for success. So that's for Locke's goal setting theory. So clarity, right? So it has to be specific, right? Measurable, attainable, and time bound, and then challenging, right? So it has to be something that would really challenge you, that would really encourage you to step up, right? And commitment, right? So you want someone to track and you're to track your progress. And if it's not possible, then of course you have to track it yourself. But at the same time, you really want to commit to it. If it's a goal that you really want to do, then you're gonna have to really push, right? Next is, of course, feedback. Check your progress. Am I doing great, right? Or does my goal need tweaking? And finally, task complexity, right? If it's difficult, if it's proving to be difficult, you might want to give yourself more time to learn whatever it is that you need to do so. Okay, so that's Edwin Locke's goal setting theory, right? And with that, a great way or a great quote, right? Before we jump to knowing your skills. So this is right a quote from Les Brown: "Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars." Right, and it's great to have goals or targets, right, that seem a little difficult at first. It's scary, I know, right? Believe me. But the great thing about setting challenging goals is that you find yourself surpassing limits that you set yourself, right? Um, like what? Going back 5, 6 years ago, I've never imagined that I'd be talking to people, right? Like I'd be talking to people in front of a school, right? Talking about setting goals and whatnot, right? My idea back then was what to play League of Legends, to play Dota 2 right after school, right, or right after work. That's pretty much it, right? Play with friends and whatnot. And I never really imagined that I'd be doing something like this. And the great thing about goal setting, right, and when you set to achieve things, you find yourself getting to do things that you never thought and couldn't even imagine, right? Like me 5 years ago, 6 years ago would be very surprised, right, to see what I'm doing right now. And yeah, it's a great way to think of goals that you want to set, right? And always, challenge yourself to achieve better, to do that, to do better, right? And you find yourself breaking your self-imposed limits, right? And with that, let's jump to right knowing your skills. So yes, it's important to set goals, right? That's something that we've established. Another thing that we ought to consider is we ought to know ourselves as well, right? So what we're supposed to talk about now is matching your skills to a job, right? Josh, we're supposed to match our skills to the job, so shouldn't we be focused on the job first? That's actually true, but right, Sun Tzu said in The Art of War, and this is a great business book, by the way, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles, right? And what this aims, right, to impart, or the wisdom that this wants to impart, is that knowing your company is one thing, right? Knowing the job that you want is one thing. You understanding yourself is also another, right? And the important thing to remember here is, right, two things, right? Understand yourself and understand the company that you want to work for, right? And you being able to know what your skills are will help you find a job that would fit your skills, right? Or your repertoire of skills. So let's jump to the benefits, right, of understanding ourselves better and what we can do better and knowing our skills. So first, right, it leads you to the right options when looking for a job. So when we say looking for the right options when looking for a job, very simple, right? If you know what you do well, if you know what you're skilled at, then it's easier to find a job that you'd know you'd be a fit for. Next is it helps you find a job or gain employment, right, at a company where you can and would want to grow, right? And lastly, right, a great benefit would be higher chances of staying at a company once you get hired, right? And a lot of people don't put a premium on the company that they're working for, right? That's why a lot of people go from one company to the other. And the important thing is, right, looking for a company is actually, it involves a lot of research, right? Because you want to make sure that the company that you're joining, it's not about just you getting a contract, right? It's not just you getting a job offer. It's important that you understand the company that you're about to join, you know their values, you know their goals, and make sure that they're more or less aligned with what you're targeting. And if we have that, right, or if we get to target that, right, then it's there is a higher chance of us staying at a company, right, that you get to apply to, or that a company that you get hired to, right? And yeah, helps with retention. You'd be a lot less stressed because you're a fit for the job, right? You know what to do. And if you're performing, right, there are bigger chances for you to excel in that particular field, right? So if you're doing well, it's easy. If it's easy, you get incentives easily, right? You get incentives, of course, the more likely you are to stay because the less stressed you are with whatever it is that you're doing. Now, let's jump to, right, how to actually go about it, right? How do we know our skills, or how do we really understand ourselves better? So let's start with ask around, right? So you want to tell yourself, what am I doing well? Or what can I do well? So you can ask yourself, right? You could list that down. You could probably do that right now if you want to, right? You could get get a pen and paper, right? Or if you can open a notepad if you're on the computer, or a separate tab maybe if you're on your phone, right? What can I do well, right? What can I actually do well? Now, that's one. You could list that yourself. Next is ask your loved ones, right? Ask your friends. And it's really important to ask the people around you what you can do well, because there are a lot of things that we don't consider to be a skill, but actually is something that you can list or consider as your skill, right? And who better to see that than the people around you, right? Because for us, right, when we look ourselves, or when we look at ourselves, we have an idea of who we are, right? But it's more of the people that you interact with that would also see, right? Or there are blind spots that you don't get to observe and that they get to see, right? And you'd be surprised, right, when you find out that you are actually proficient in a lot of things that you've never really given a second thought. Actually, never really given a second thought on. So ask your friends, right? Ask yourself. And if you have the luxury, right, or the opportunity to talk to experts, right, you could ask them, maybe your teacher, right, someone you really look up to, someone who's mentoring you. You could ask them, what do you have potential on and what can you improve on, right? So ask. Next is, right, you can create a list. So with the list that you're making, list down things that you can do well, right? List down the things that you're very proficient in. Okay. And a lot of folks would say, but Josh, I'm only good at playing computer games and whatnot. That shows actually that shows a high acumen in being able to multitask, right? Or to, well, not really multitask, but to task switch, right? Could cover a lot of bases as well, right? And this is okay. As funny as it is, right? Part of what I do in class, right, when I train people before the pandemic is I have to help them access their tools, right? And I actually rely on the gamer folks, right? People who play computer games a lot when it comes to tools testing and logins, because um, it's easier for them to grip whatever instructions I'm giving them. Like I just need to give it once, twice, right? And they can help the less tech inclined teammates that they have, right? And that's actually a skill in what and information retention, right? And being able to reach out as well. So That's one, right? And so yeah, make a list of things that you can do well, right? Things that you want to develop and learn, right? Things that you want to do. You can list down skills, right? Work skills and soft skills, which is, yeah, you understanding people better or being able to communicate effectively, right? And then list them down, right? So yeah, things that you want to, things that you can do well and things that you want to learn. And finally, you can assess yourself. So create online skills assessments activities, right? Projects as well. You can take tests online to see what you're very proficient in. And yeah, basically, right? Ask, ask your friends, ask yourself, create a list, and take online assessments if you can, or you can consult professionals, right? So there. So that's us understanding ourselves. Now, next is matching your skills to a job. So we're done with understanding ourselves, right? The next is matching our skills to a job. So how do we let the employers know, or our employers or potential employers know, that we are the one? So we have three, right? So first off, carefully analyze the job listing, right? So check the company, or check the company information, check on the qualifications and the responsibilities that the job entails, and know what the employer wants and is looking for. So what do we mean by that? So when we say carefully analyze the job listing, do your, or perform due diligence. Check, right? Do your research. And this is really important with whatever company that you're aiming for, that you're trying to shoot for. Always, 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 right? Always analyze the job, or look at the company that you're targeting, right? So make sure to analyze the job listing that you want, or the job that you want, right? So make sure that you do your research. The people that work there, the bosses, mission and vision, even snippets of news about them, right? That's really helpful and relevant. And right, once you've done your research for the company that you want to, next is create a list of your qualifications relevant to the requirements of the company. So you want to list down, right, skills that they need. So you could create a table, the things that they're looking for, and then try to fit whatever it is that you have in your prior list, right? The things that you're good at, and see if it matches. Now, a lot of times you think, oh, my skills are not really fit for this particular company, right? For example, I am a human resources development management. I don't know a lick about communication in the context of working in a BPO, right? Or in a call center. But if you would see that, right, I've had a lot of org involvement before, and that can directly translate to being able to work well with people, right, and being able to communicate. So it's all about you understanding yourself at a certain level, right? Um, and my extracurricular curricular activity, right, or my involvement can translate to, let's say, the ability to communicate well with people, right? My time spent evaluating, right, being proficient in certain, let's say, programs, right, would help me perform tasks and whatnot. So it's all about how you word it, and it's all about how you understand yourself better, right? So list down, right, qualifications that are relevant to the target that you want, or the target job that you have. And yeah, finally, right, we have create your resume. So number one, proofread, right? This is one thing that a lot of companies look at. Did you exert enough effort to make sure that your resume is grammatically accurate, right? No matter how irrelevant it might be to the job that you're looking for or you're gunning for, right? Make sure to proofread, because it shows that you're being careful with your job, right? Whatever job you do, right? Whatever job you target out there, accuracy is a big thing, right? May it be in what the financial field, accounting, definitely accounting, right? And even the many different courses that we have, right? We want to be, yeah, we want to be accurate. So proofread, right? Next is less is more, right? You don't want to, you don't want to list 300 or 2 pages, 3 pages of content. Just make sure that you list down the skills that are relevant to what you have and highlight the skills that you have that are relevant to the post that you need. If, let's say, you're applying for a communications based program, right, or a company, then you might want to highlight that. If it's something related to marketing, maybe something that's akin, the closer to marketing, or whatever skills that you have that's relevant to marketing, right? And sell yourself, right? I know we have accounting students, we have CAS, right? Students, and we even have accounting and finance students, but we need to do a little bit of marketing, right? You want to sell yourself. Awards, recognition, experiences, positive feedback about your skills. You want to jot that down there, right? Or you want to include that in your list, right? So you want to, again, you're selling yourself for the company, you're selling yourself, and you want the company to take a gamble, right, or to invest in you. And you can have someone do a once over. If you know someone who works in HR, you have a friend, a relative, make sure to give them a once over, right? And they can give you a lot of insight that you might have missed on, right? So ask a friend, right? And of course, make sure to edit depending on the company, or to edit your resume depending on the company that you're applying for, right? Might be in a different field, might be in a different company, but before you send your resume, right? So it's not a blank template that you can just send to everyone. Tweak it, right? Make sure that it's tailor fit with every company that you're gunning for, and that you align yourself with whatever it is that they're targeting. Okay, so I could go on about other stuff to prepare for, right, when it comes to matching your skills to a job, but that's the most important thing, right? And make sure that whatever content you put on your resume is something that you understand by heart, because most of the stuff that they're going to talk about would be with that. Oh, also, please make sure to use white paper. A lot of folks use different colored paper, and make sure font is normal, right? You could use Arial. If you want to use Times New Roman, sure, Calibri. So as long as it's not too crazy, right? As long as it's professional looking, then you're good. Okay, so that's matching your skills to a job. So we talked about how to set goals, right? Effective goal setting, understanding yourself, and how to match your skills to a job. And hopefully that, right, that gave you guys insight on what to prepare for and how to prepare in the future. And right, let me just talk about something as well, right? Or allow me to talk about the company that I work for as well. And I'd like to introduce you guys to Alorica. So Alorica is a BPO, but a lot of folks, right, don't really understand what the BPO industry is all about, right? So the BPO industry is, right, basically an agreement in which one company hires another company to be responsible for an existing external activity. So big example, right? If, let's say, you've tried the Lazada or Shopee chat function, that's something that can be outsourced, right? So basically, we cater to different customers, right? In this case, most of our customers are from the States, right? And Alorica, right, is a BPO, right? Alorica is a leading provider of business process customer satisfaction outsourcing solutions, right? From beginning to end of the customer life cycle, right? And that's a really simple way of, saying or it's a really complicated way of saying what we do. What we do is we make lives better, right? One interaction at a time. And let me introduce you guys, right, to what Alorica is all about. We make people's lives better, right? One call at a time, one chat at a time, one email at a time. And right, we want to create insanely great customer experiences as well. We want to wow, right, every customer that calls us, chats, or messages us or sends us an email. And right, let me introduce you guys to the Alorica brand promise as well. Right. So we have passion, performance, and possibilities. Right. So first is passion, right? We like helping people. We want to solve problems, right? Customers come in, we want to help them out, and we want to solve problems. Next is performance, our commitment to deliver results. So we always want to meet the numbers, right? We have goals that you need to hit, right? We have a way to measure our performance and effectiveness. And we have possibilities, right? We desire, right, to challenge the status quo, create or inspire creative thinking, and generate innovative solutions, right? So it's really challenging when you have to come up with a way to resolve different customer issues and concerns. And where do we get to apply these, right? We have different lines of business, right? We have retail and e-commerce, right? So, for folks that like shopping, we have travel and hospitality, right? That's a business that we are also involved in. Media and communication, technology, financial services, and healthcare and insurance. So Alorica is extremely diverse, right? In the different companies or programs that we have, or the different businesses, right, that we cater to and support. And let me just run by a couple facts, right? So Alorica is the world's largest provider of customer experiences to North American consumers. We are spread across 14 countries in 100 locations with over 100,000 employees, right? And out of the 100 locations, 19 of those are in the Philippines, right? And yeah, we serve more than 200 major clients worldwide, right? So we have wireless providers, right? So these are telco companies like Smart and Globe. We have healthcare companies, which are pretty big in the States, right? We have banking institutions as well. We have online retailers, right? We have car manufacturers, utility companies, even tech companies, right? You'd be surprised at some of the programs that we have. We even have a couple of local accounts, right? That cater to certain institutions. And the great thing about wanting to explore, let's say, the BPO industry, right? There are a lot of folks that I know that have found a career, right, that started out in different fields, or maybe even graduates of different fields that are not entirely similar to, or not entirely close to, what the BPO industry is, right? And they were able to make a career for themselves, right? And right, let's say you want to grow, right? There are a lot of opportunities for growth when it comes to, working in Alorica. Let's say you want to work in, the IT field, right? We have IT departments. If your passion is for leading people, managing people, we have team manager positions. If your role is more of, let's say, training, facilitating classes, right, and mentoring people, you could be a trainer, right? If you like rolling out classes and whatnot. And if you're more inclined on, let's say, screening, right, and the hiring process, you could also be a recruiter. So a lot of our folks, right, they start on the phones and eventually transition to different career opportunities, right? Like working in a BPO or working for Alorica isn't just you taking in phone calls, right? There are a lot of different facets that keep a company running, right? And that's not remote or just for traditional companies. You also have companies like Alorica, right, that offer a lot of different job opportunities, right? Like right now, my department is still in need of trainers, right? Learning and development trainers, people that are proficient in communication, right? Communication and yeah, facilitation and teaching, right? So yeah, we have a lot of opportunities because again, we're growing compared to other companies, right? The pandemic's been hard for a lot of people, right? But the great thing about the industry such as this is that it offers a lot of job opportunities for people, right? And does not discriminate on age, educational attainment, right? And whatever your views may be, right? And before I jump to questions, right, or to the Q&A portion, right? A lot of folks think that working in the BPO industry is just you sitting in a cubicle for 8 hours listening to angry customers. It's not just that though. It's you helping someone make sure that they have enough mobile data for their kids' online school, right? It's you making sure that the Uber driver has enough or has everything that they need, right? Um, in terms of online connection or connectivity, right? It's you helping a parent budget, right? Save money, right? And that's at the essence of what we do, right? We don't just take in phone calls, take in chats. We change people's lives, right? As cliche as that sounds, right? And yeah, that pretty much wraps up my right, pretty much wraps up my talk, right? For goal setting and matching your skills to a job. And let's open the floor for our question and answer portion, right? If you guys have questions, right? Anything you'd like to ask. And yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. So, guys, let me share first the guidelines for the open forum or the question and answer portion. So, okay, for our Zoom participants, when asking question, you do have two methods or two modes. You can ask your questions or you can post your question via chat box. Please introduce yourself, your name, your course, year, and section. You can also interact with our speaker personally on live by raising your hand so we can unmute you, and by this time you can turn on your camera for your question. So for our Facebook page or stream participants naman po, you can use the comment section of our Facebook page para po magtanong sa ating speaker. So, shout out muna po tayo sa ating mga nasa stream participants sa PUP Career Center Facebook page. Wait lang po check natin kung sino-sino yung ating babatiin sa kanila. Medyo madami kasi. Wait lang po Check natin. Sandali lang. So, kanina nakakita ako is PUP Santa Rosa, PUP Sablayan. We also do have from PUP Bataan. So, ganun po kalayo na yung nararating natin. Meron din tayo kaninang galing sa... Ang dami kanina wait. Meron po tayong galing sa University of Science and Technology of Southern Philippines, Claveria. USTP Claveria Food and Processing Technology Department, Iris Cavite BS Industrial Psychology, FM daw, Sablayan, PUP Bataan, Cabiao. Wow, ang dami. So, okay. Sir, actually, okay. Nag-post si Miss Hannah on our chat box that two of their trainer or development trainer is a graduate of PUP AV English. So, clap tayo dyan para sa College of Arts and Letters. So, they are welcoming job opportunities from Alorica, trainer, IT, recruiter, HR associate, team manager, quality analyst, marketing, and they are all be grateful na maging part kayo ng Alorica. So sir, ang tanong po, welcome din daw po ba ang College of Accountancy and Finance and College of Business and some other colleges para sa
Yes.
inyo?
Yes, definitely. We have a lot of opportunities with the financial aspect, although I'm not really well versed in the actual positions, but yes, we have a lot of opportunities, especially for folks that are very proficient in accounting, right? Or when it comes to crunching numbers, right? Not really sure with the positions, but yes, we have a lot of opportunities. They can get in touch with non-agent sourcing. So we are actually spread over in a lot of different sites, and yeah, they can explore a lot of opportunities that are related to their course. So it's not just for, let's say, purely communications, right? So for folks that are more inclined for numbers, right, accounting, right, and financial financially, I would say financially geared or inclined opportunities. So yes, we have a lot of opportunities, and not just for phones and whatnot.
Okay, sir. Sir, may isang tanong po. Nakita ko lang dito.
Mhm.
Pwede ko na po bang itanong sa'yo? Actually, this question is intended for BDO, but naka-out na po si BDO, although nag-text siya na there is no, ang sabi po ni Miss Nikki, pinasasabi daw po ni Miss Doris is, ang tanong po kasi is this one. The question is from Kenzin Reoni. Is BDO Unibank has a preference toward recruitment of applicants from a certain college or university? From College of Accountancy daw po siya. Ang sagot po ni BDO is, to answer the question, we don't have preference. We entertain applicants from all colleges and university or schools as long as they do hold a bachelor's degree. So sir, sa inyo po, kung ibabalik ko sir yung tanong sa inyo, do you have a preference in recruiting applicants from a certain college or university?
Well, for us, right? It would depend on the job that you're applying for or your target, but we don't generally, right, as a rule, regardless of the position that you apply in, we are never preferential with schools. In fact, we don't really require well, we're not really super stringent when it comes to requirements. What's great about working in Alorica, right, is that you can join right regardless of what college you're in, what course you accomplished or you're not yet finished with, and there's always an equal opportunity waiting for you the moment you step inside an Alorica recruitment hub, right? The moment you enter the room, the moment you enter a recruitment hub, it's just your skill alone, right? Your credentials, everything else, the school you came from, that's sidelined, and what's given priority is your actual skill.
Okay, sir. Question from Sir JB. Gusto niyo po bang maki-interact kay Sir Joshua? Nakita ko po yung question niyo. Pwede po kitang i-unmute. Sir JB, may question sir. Ang question from Mr. JB de la Cruz, third year BSA student from PUP Manila. May I ask the current requirements na generally hinahanap ng employer given the situation that we do have pandemic right now in terms of skills, equipment, used for work, and required documents. Sir JB, you want to interact with our speaker po? I-unmute po kita. Sir JB. JV de la Cruz.
I think he already worded the question.
Yes. Apo. Ay ta. Pwede ko siya. Sir, unmute kita ha, Mr. JV. So, pwede ka pong makapag-interact kay Sir Joshua.
Good morning po.
Okay.
Hi, good morning.
Yung question ko lang po is about sa graduate students na kukuha ng for their first job. So I'm curious na po, what are currently requirements since we have pandemic, and um, if meron po ba siyang difference and additional requirements compared sa nung wala pa tayong pandemic right now.
Okay, thank you for your question. To answer your question, the requirements are still the same. The requirements are still the same. So you need to secure your NBI clearance, and of course other relevant documents, right? From that are going to come from your school. So it's still there. The additional requirements that you would need to submit, though, what we normally require, well, would be your barangay health certificate, right? And even some of the testing that are to make sure that you're COVID free, right? So those are just some of the additional things that are considered. But the good thing about that is it's usually part of any medical package when you join a company, right? You need to undergo your physical exam. So that's what we normally, or that's how it normally happens. But usually when you report, you need to submit your barangay health certificate, right? Basically making sure that you're free from COVID, and you've undergone your quarantine period. So that's how, or that's what we usually require. But the rest, it's still the same. If you're going to work here in Quezon City and certain cities as well, you will be required to secure your health permit, right? Your occupational permit, depending on the company or job that you're applying for. For equipment used for work, it also depends on what you're aiming for. So let's say you want to be, uh, sorry, equipment. So let's say you're on a work at home or work from home arrangement with the company that you're applying to, right? So you might be issued company devices, but if the company does not provide company devices, or there are no company issued devices, then you might need to be, or to make sure that the devices that you have are compliant, right? And if it's going to be on site, then yeah, apart from your health implements, right, your mask, face shield, then yeah, that's pretty much it. But this is what's pretty interesting, and I can't say the same for traditional companies, but for industries like the BPO industry, it's business as usual, right? Business unusual as usual, in the context of us gaining more businesses, right? Like, there's a pandemic, but we're making sure, or we're taking steps to make sure that everyone is safe while working during the pandemic. So very strict social distancing policies, work at home options for those that have the capability for it to do so. Again, not all, but it is something that's also explored to alleviate the strain on, let's say, building capacity, right? So um, we are making the most out of the business, or giving the most opportunities, or a lot the most opportunity, the amount of opportunities for people, while staying safe and maintaining the strictest standards in terms of health and safety. So I guess that's the only thing that really changed from how we do things.
Okay, thank you, Sir JB. Nasagot po ba yung tanong niyo, sir?
How about po dun sa sa skills po? Or may
Mhm.
difference po ba? Or
So skills, well, it would also differ on the, or it would also be a matter of what you're looking for. But in terms of skills for us personally, right? For the company that I work for, it's actually the same. I've uh, I've trained people that are former OFWs, spent what, 20, 30 years in a different country. I've even trained fresh graduates, right? Graduates of different courses, different colleges, some even right off SHS, right? So in terms of skill, most of the skills that we require are something that you can develop over time when you start out in the industry. But in terms of requiring new skills, the barrier to entry in terms of your competency is, as long as you're able to converse in English the right way, it's not so hard for you to transition to a career in the BPO industry. So not a lot has changed with how we do things.
Thank you po.
Thank you as well.
Okay, thank you, Sir JB. So mukhang wala ng tanong. Sir, do you welcome virtual OJT, limited face-to-face OJT, and Alorica? And ano po yung mga courses or particular college that welcome ang OJT na conduct para sa inyo, and what are specifically the requirements that the student may be asking or maybe need to comply?
Okay, I believe this is better answered for internship. We have Aya, right? Aya, I believe, is the best person for
Hi,
that. Aya.
Josh. Thank you. So yes, we have vacancies for virtual internship, but the vacancies are limited for recruitment and admin. So due to the data privacy and limitations from our InfoSec, we have limited the vacancies to recruitment only for now and for admin. Thank you.
Okay, Ma'am Aya, may tanong po.
Go ahead.
Once po ba nag-virtual internship daw sila, paano raw po ang equipment? Sa kanila daw po ba? Sila raw po ba ang may sagot? Or
Yes.
the industry will be providing a little bit or something para sa kanila?
Okay, the responsibilities and tasks that will be assigned to the OJT student would be non-critical tasks. So our requirement would be they need to provide their own personal equipment.
Okay. May allowance daw po ba kaya, Ma'am Aya?
So far, none. We don't provide allowances for virtual internship.
At least. Oh, guys, from the College of Accountancy and Finance, College of Arts and Letters, ma'am, welcome po ba sila sa inyo? Welcome po sila sa inyo. Tama po ba ako?
Now, Miss Jane, we are limiting the vacancies for recruitment only and admin. We don't have any vacancies for accountancy or financial management students due to the confidentiality of the data that they'll be exposed to if in case they'll be assigned to our finance department.
So, you'll be looking under the College of Business Administration.
Business administration. I think you have human resource management, no? Human
Opo,
resources.
yes, ma'am. We do have.
Correct. Thanks,
Apo.
Jane. Thanks, Josh.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you po. Okay, so may echo po tayo. Wait lang po. Wala naman sa akin. Okay, so thank you for our participants, from the Zoom participants. Mukhang wala na ay, meron. Sir, last question. This is from Miss Gail Manguba. Miss Gail, I have problem with my mic. So the question is, do you have any tips for the student who have no idea on what their life will be after graduation? Wala raw po siyang mic, so nasa chat box po siya.
Sure. I understand you. I honestly, right, I also did not know what I wanted to do. I desired to do a lot of different stuff, right? I wanted to pursue a different career. There are a lot of things that I wanted to, but what I wanted, it got to a point that I got confused, right? I wasn't so sure because there are things that I want to achieve, but there are other things that I'm thinking of at the same time. My advice is, don't rush into things. You're starting out in life, and a lot of folks might say that, hey, you need to have everything figured out. But the very first thing that you need to understand is you don't need to have everything figured out right away, right? You're starting your career out, and it's okay for you to, it's okay for you to end up in the wrong place for you to understand where the right place is. Right. Wow. No, but yeah, you need to know, right? Sometimes you have to end up, in the wrong place for you to understand what you really need to be doing or what you really enjoy, right? So don't be afraid to make mistakes, right? Don't be afraid to make mistakes, but don't be afraid to take risks as well. If you find that what you're doing isn't really something that you want, then maybe while you're going through that, you have a better understanding of yourself and you'd know what you'd want eventually, right? When I was young, when I was younger, I wanted to pursue a different career, right? I saw working in the BPO as a way for me to make money, right? That was how I viewed it. But the longer I stayed, right, the more I understood, right, that I'm where I'm supposed to be, right? Um, like I would get trainees, right? These are people that have never, worked in a call center before. These are former cashiers in Jollibee or McDonald's, and um, they would say thank you, right? They'd really be happy for being allowed the opportunity to pursue a career, right? I would see like fresh grads, right? Students that really nervous, right? But them saying thank you, them being happy where they are, right? Reminds me that I'm in the right place. So, you don't have to understand everything right now, but you'll figure it out eventually, right? But yeah, set a goal, right? Find what you want to do. And if it ends up being what you really enjoy, then great. But if it's not, then that's also fine, right? And I hope you get to find what would really be a rewarding career for you. So yeah.
Okay, maraming salamat, Sir Josh. So, in behalf of the Alumni Relation and Career Development Office, I would like to thank our industry participants, Alorica and BDO Unibank, for participating and gracing this period or sharing your expertise to our PUPians, our sintang paaralan. Our participants, hindi lang po from PUP, campuses and branches, and other universities. Maraming salamat in taking your time off and attending this particular event. Sabi nga ni Sir Josh kanina, mistakes have the power to turn you into something better than you today or better than you before. So whoever who is trying to bring you down, he is already below you. So to give our closing remark, please let's welcome the Assistant Vice President for Students Affairs and Services, Engineer Florinda H. Kindo, and the Director of the Alumni Relation and Career Development Office. Ma'am Flor. Wait lang po. Nasaan na siya? Ma'am Flor Oquindo. Wait lang, check. Mukhang nagkakaroon lang po siya ng difficulty sa check natin siya. Okay, shout out muna tayo sa mga ating stream participants sa Facebook page, sa PUP San Juan, PUP Sablayan, PUP Bataan, PUP Santa Rosa. So, shout out po tayo sa kanila and some other universities from the NTC, etc. po. So, I hope may mga natutunan po tayo sa ating webinar or this today's session. So, wait lang po ha. Nasa na si Ma'am Flor? Mukhang mukhang nagkakaroon siya ng technical problem. Hindi pa yata siya makalog in. Okay, so wait lang natin siya saglit ha. So, may iba pa po bang tanong? Meron pa po bang gustong magtanong kay Sir Joshua at kay Miss Aya? Miss Aya, may tanong po ako.
Yes po, ma'am. Yes.
Opo. Ma'am, di ba may OJT ngayong October 2021? Ano po yung, paano po yung process sa inyo ng OJT? Ano po yung mga kailangan nilang i-ready, ma'am?
They have to prepare their endorsement letter from PUP and then their resume, and then we have to have them sign the non-disclosure agreement from Alorica and then InfoSec documents. And then we'll have them interview. We'll have a team that will conduct an interview for candidates or applicants, and then all process will be virtual. So they don't need to come on site for their interviews. You just have to submit their resume or application in the email that I provided in the chat box. So it's Alorica internship team at alorica.com.
Okay. Ma'am, may tanong po. Ilang branches, not branches pala tayo. Ilang site na po ba meron ang Alorica? And welcome po ba ang taga PUP branches and campuses to join your team?
Yes, we are servicing 18 sites as of the moment, and since it's virtual, so for our sites in Metro Manila, for those PUP branches that are looking for virtual internship, you're welcome to apply in Metro since everything is virtual naman. Yep.
Okay, so welcome daw po kayo whether PUP any branch and campuses of PUP. So guys, mukhang nagkakaroon ng technical problem si Ma'am Flor Oquindo. So in behalf of the Alumni Relation and Career Development Office, for our closing remark, please let's welcome the Chief of the Alumni Relations Services, Miss Mabel Desmonte Lagarde.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Opo.
Thank you. So hello, everyone. Safe morning to all of you. In behalf of ARCDO, we would like to thank all the wonderful people who spoke this morning to us, Mr. Joshua, Miss Hannah, and Miss Doris. Thank you for accepting the invite. Also, I would like to thank the amazing lineup of this program. Good job. And of course, to all of you taking time to attend this webinar despite of your very hectic schedule. Attending this kind of webinar provides us information on various occupations within an industry. Our speakers introduce you students to the nature and scope of the work done and educate you on the skills necessary to perform certain job functions. That is why I am happy to all of you that attending this kind of webinar, because when you graduate at this and it is time for you to look for a job, you are very ready to face them and will surely pass and be employed. So keep it up, students. I will not take this message longer. Again, thank you everyone, and I hope to meet you all again in our next session. God bless.
Okay, maraming salamat, Miss Mabel. So, in behalf of the Alumni Relation and Career Development Office, I'm Miss Jane S. Pulma, the Chief for Career Development and Placement, signing off, and thank you. Arigato gozaimashita in Japanese. Maraming salamat in Filipino sa pag-attend nyo sa 2021 Career Development Webinar Series. Thank you, participants via Zoom and participants via live stream. Industry partners, maraming salamat po. And thank you. This is Miss Pulma again, signing off.
You ng taglay, PUP aming gabay, maalalang dakila. PUP
Welcome back, schoolmates! Nagbabalik ang paborito niyong online tambayan. Dito lang yan sa Pamantasan. Ako si Zed.
Magkakatid kaalaman ng everything you had to know. Ako si El.
Tampok ang mga nakaka-proud at buwan ng PUP yan. Saka naman si Sir Dennis.
Lahat ng latest trending ito sa Big Back na Back. Ako naman si Pat.
At muli niyo kami makakasama dito lang sa Pinakausap-usapan sa Pamantasan. High school
Wow!
ayan. Kamusta naman kayo dyan?
Yes! Siyempre, malamig.
Daming yes,
At masaya, siyempre. O, kayo ba?
Wow, so inspired. Kami naman saan? Marami kami ginagawa pag Burman.
Oh, siyempre.
Pero kinakaya, laban. Laban lang.
Tama. Marami din naman kasi tayong natututunan.
Correct.
Diba?
Naku, alam nyo, kakayanin nyo yan.
Oh.
Kasi itong mga student leaders natin, kinakaya.
Sino yan, ma'am?
Academics plus student service.
Wow,
sila,
mismo.
makahingi
Kaya
nyo.
namin tulong.
Kilalanin natin sila sa
Organic!
Hi schoolmates! Ako si Elijah San Fernando, ang bagong presidente ng Sentral na Konseho ng Mag-aaral. Sentral na Konseho ng Mag-aaral ang pinakamataas na student government sa PUP Main Campus. Since 1983 pa nag-e-exist ang mga student councils. Tungkulin ng Sentral na Konseho ng Mag-aaral na magbigay ng mga aktibidad na maglilinang sa kagalingan at mga interes ng mga eskolar ng bayan. Bukod sa pagsusulong ng Students' Rights and Welfare, isa sa pangunahing proyekto ngayon ng Sentral na Konseho ng Mag-aaral ay ang pagpapatayo ng mga student centers, student areas, para sa mga eskolar ng bayan at mga organisasyon sa ating sintang paaralan. Pinili naming paglingkuran ang mga eskolar ng bayan sapagkat naniniwala kami na sa pamamagitan ng Konseho ng Mag-aaral ay makapagbibigay kami ng mga proyekto at aktibidad na siyang maglilinang ng kakayahan at mga interes ng mga kapwa natin eskolar ng bayan. As the highest student body in PUP Main Campus, it is our duty to uphold the rights and interests of the whole student group. Dito na papasok yung buong layunin ng Sentral na Konseho ng Mag-aaral bilang representante ng mas malawak na hanay ng mga eskolar ng bayan.
Kami ang Sentral na Konseho ng Mag-aaral. Certified Orgaling!
Tapak sa pagiging mabuting ehemplo para sa mga scholar ng bayan.
Tama, pero syempre, ito hindi lang basta estudyante, yung mga nagsisilbi ng mga ganyan, meron din naman tayong kilalang good example, no? Balita ko, kamustahan mo yan last time, sir.
Wow, updated ka dyan, ha?
Well, kasi may vlog ka na eh.
I know, right? Please follow Dennis Dumrique sa YouTube. Anyway. Pero anyway, totoo yan, ano? Isa lang naman siya sa mga pride ng PUP. At, syempre pa sa larangan din ng broadcast journalism.
Alam niyo, kilala ko yan.
Ay,
bakit naman, ma'am?
Dating OC ng PUP TV season.
Oh,
pinapanood ko yun. Nandito na siya.
Siya naging bayan siya.
Sabi na nga, be.
Anyway, sino ba yan?
Nakasama natin yan si Kuya LA.
Totoo.
Yes, true yan, Ma'am Yel. O siya, kilalanin na natin siya sa ating Soco Session presents
LA Santos!
Halina't kumustahin at kilalanin ang mga nakaka-proud at huwarang PUP alumni. Ako si Sir Dennis at ito ang Sofa Session, Scholar ng Bayan noon, Scholar para sa Bayan ngayon. Tampok sa ating unang usapan ay isang
Broadcast Journalist Graduate Batch 2013, nakilala bilang isa sa mga host ng unang season ng Pinakausap-usapan sa Pamantasan. At ngayon, siya ay isa sa pinakabatang radio correspondent sa kanilang istasyon.
Nagbabalita at makikibalita sa atin. Please welcome, LA Santos! Hello! LA.
Ayun, okay pa naman at buhay na buhay pa.
Ayun, gusto ko yun. Buhay na buhay pa. Proceed, let me just say congratulations sa achievement mo, no, bilang isang broadcast journalist. So, mayroon tayong mga katanungan, Sir LA. First question, let's start by telling your story. Ano yung mga namimiss mo sa PUP or bilang isang PUP yan?
Siyempre, Fewa!
Fewa! So, aside from Fewa, ano pa yung mga namimiss mo sa PUP?
E di siyempre, yung kultura natin.
Ano bang sa tingin mo yung culture ng PUP na unique na nagagamit mo ngayon sa
Aba, tinuruan tayo maging mandirigma at magtiis sa mahabang pila.
Yun, tama. Kasi
Oy, hindi paninira yun, ha?
Exactly.
Ano yun, parang...
compliment.
Oo, sa loob pa lamang ng paralan natin, tinuturuan na tayong, ako ano man yung mangyayari, posibilidad na mangyayari sa hinarap, nararamdaman na natin.
Correct. Oo. Saka tinuturuan tayo maging patient, diba?
Yun, So, balikan yung mga prof.
Grabe!
Pwede!
Sige nga. Paano ba? Hindi, joke lang.
Ako, personally, hindi naman ako nakaramdam talaga ng, alam mo, sama na loob. Siguro may mga prof talaga na stricto, yung terror kung tawagin. Pero pagka natapos yung course nyo, natapos yung subject mo na yun, ngayon nasa trabaho ka na, ma-realize mo na, may punto pala siya kung ba't siya ganun.
Yes, totoo. Galing. Next question naman natin. How did PUP shape you for your career?
No, round shape. Siguro tinuruan niya akong maging matapang. Yung maging matapang kapag dating sa yung realidad.
Yes.
Parang hindi ka basta susuko. Kasi sa atin, dito ang training sa atin, siguro sa College of Communication din na hindi porket wala, hindi mo na gagawin. Gagawa ka talaga ng paraan.
Parang bawal ang bumanga.
Oo, bawal lang bumanga. Oo. Pero dahil sa PUP, syempre natuto kang humanap ng paraan, naging resourceful ka, nahanap yung mga bagay niyan. Which is nagagamit ko siya ngayon.
Wow. Yeah, that's the true PUPian spirit, di ba? Okay. In one word, describe your PUP journey and why.
Siguro, palaban.
Palaban?
Kailangan talaga maging palaban ka sa buhay.
Yes.
Dahil hindi ka magtatagumpay kung mananatili ka lang sa isang sulok nung kung saan ka nasaan ka man.
And palaban, kasi talaga naman kailangan mong maging matapang dun sa nature ng work mo, di ba?
Yung PUP, kilalang palaban talaga yan.
Yes. So, you are now a junior
radio
correspondent. Kantahan mo naman kami, Sir LA, kung ano yung mga daily routine mo, anong ginagawa mo.
Junior radio correspondent po ako sa Super Radio DCBB. Ang karaniwang beat ko, police beat. Kasi usually panggabing duty ako.
Yes.
So ang trabaho ko, ay syempre mag-report ng mga crime news. Kung ano yung mga nagaganap sa gabi. Ano ibig sabihin, sir, na gabi ay paro patayan? Yung mga crime news, mga police stories.
Mr. LA, last question na to. Oh my gosh. Siguro na lang, advice na lang pala. Okay? Ano yung mga advice mo sa mga future journalist, future broadcast journalist? Na PUP yan, ha?
Sa mga taga-COC, mga kumukuha po ng journalism, mga broadcast communication research, ituloy nyo lang yung pangarap ninyo. Tandaan nyo palagi na pagka nasa realidad na kayo, kalimutan nyo na matalino kayo. Ang pinakamahalaga ay marunong kang makisama. Kasi kahit gaano ka katalino, kung hindi ka marunong makisama, iiwan ka ng mga tao nasa paligid mo. Pagpatuloy mo lang yung pangarap mo, huwag kang susuko, maging matapang, at siyempre, matuto kang makisama sa taong nasa paligid mo.
Patunay si Mr. L.A. Santos na dating scholar ng bayan noon ay nagsisilbing inspirasyon at nagbibigay karangalan sa ating sintang paaralan ngayon. With that, see you next time. Ito ang Sofa Session.
Maraming salamat, L.A. Santos. Nagbabalita. Dennis Enrique.
Sir, na-change ka rin. Nakadala na mag-teacher.
Sorry, nadala lang ako. Kasi ang galing kasi niya. Tsaka, na-realize ko, ang hirap pala. At saka nakakapagod din magbalita sa radyo.
Tama, alam mo, kailangan marami kang alam.
Oo, totoo.
Tsaka alam niyo ba, isa siya sa pinakabatang radio news anchor sa station.
Yes, in fairness naman talaga.
So marami pa kayong aabangan sa mga susunod namin episode.
True.
O kaya kayo, mga schoolmates, para maging updated sa usap-usapan, make sure na you are following your social media account.
Just search for www.facebook.com/PUPCreative and follow us on Twitter at PUPTV.
Ayan, don't forget to watch our previous episode at ang episode na to sa ating YouTube channel. Just subscribe at PUP Creative.
Yes, schoolmates! Hanggang sa susunod na usapan dito sa pabalitan yung online tambayan. Ito ang
Pinakausap-usapan sa Pamantasan!
kinakabahan ako sa tanong mo, sir.
Huwag kang kabahan, kayang-kaya mo to.
Pagising ko sa umaga, nag-uunang ka to.
Typical. Gusto ko marinig, paano yung pag-report ni L.A. Santos kapag nagbabar? Oo, syempre sample naman, di ba?
Ano gusto niya, aksidente? Dennis, nakakatusay pa dito sa aking harapan. Itong isang hindi pa nakikilalang lalaki, makarang pagbabarilin ng mga hindi pa nakikilalang suspect dito sa Santa Mesa. Puting lab gown, naka-itim na pantalon at napakagandang sapatos.
Emerson is a global technology and engineering leader. We operate in over 150 countries. We are 110,000 employees worldwide. And here in the Philippines, we have over 2,000 employees.
My name is Nikki Florento. I'm from Dell Philippines. I'm handling the university relations and services hiring.
Pagasa Steel supplies concrete reinforcing bars to the Philippines' booming construction industry. We have been the leading supplier of quality steel bars for the past 52 years.
EGS is an Alorica company. It is one of the fastest growing BPO companies in the Philippines right now.
I'm Cecil Venancio and I'm Branding and Communications Director of Sykes Asia.
We don't decide whether you're from a top-tier university or a state university. We decide based on our assessments that includes exams and interviews. Having said that, a lot of Dell's workforce in the Philippines are from PUP.
55 to 80 hires annually, those coming from PUP alone. And as a matter of fact, 14 of the homegrown employees who started from staff and supervisor have been promoted.
Currently, we have 13 employees from the PUP. They're working in a different field, so most of them are engineer, some are in sales, most of them are in the higher position.
There's a huge pool of students that we can really harvest from, and we know the reputation that they bring. So we're glad that we have a university like PUP that we can rely on for our future employees.
I love the graduates of PUP. They're not only fun to work with, but you can rely on them. They are very, very dependable.
PUP graduates are an exact match and fit to Pagasa Steel's mission and vision.
The reason why we prefer the PUP graduates is the fact that we noticed that they have a common denominator, very hardworking. You see, whatever happens, they'd still work. Even if it's raining, they'd still come to work. You give them additional tasks, they'd accept. They are resilient.
Very passionate, aside from being resilient, because we can see that they're very dedicated with their job. And we've seen a lot of PUP graduates, not just in one department.
They turn out to adapt very well and adjust well to our company here in the Philippines. They're productive employees and they stay with us for a long time.
Stand out sa PUP graduate is their loyalty sa company. Integrity and ethics, drive for results, intellectual capacity, and adaptability. So when we hire PUPians, they have this kind of competencies.
Of course, they're very intelligent people, responsible. Responsible in a sense because whenever we meet these graduates and we ask them what are their future plans, they would always come up with answers like helping out their family, or because I'm done with school, I'll help out another sibling. So you would know already that these kids, even before they actually embark on certain work, they already have goals in mind.
They're not maarte, no? Whatever you give them, they know that if it's for the purpose of the job, they will do it. And so they have, they're the ones that survive the challenges of work. They don't shirk away from responsibilities. They're the type who, whatever the job requires, they're up for the challenge.
PUPians enable people everywhere to grow and thrive.
PUP is one of the pillars of the nation. because it is an institution that provides good graduates and people who really contribute to the success of the community or to the success of the country.
To all the people associated with PUP, if you're a graduate, congratulations, and you should be proud of yourselves. For those of you that are students, please continue the tradition, the proud legacy that your school has. Some of you, PUP, you work for us now. We appreciate you. We know you're good employees. For those of you that might work for us in the future, please consider us. We'd love to have you. We know that you make a great employee for Emerson.
PUPians, bring everything you are. If you have big ideas, let's talk. Come work where passion meets possibility. You can visit jobs.del.com for opportunities.
To pursue your dreams and work hard for whatever endeavor you will choose. And in the event that you will choose to apply in one of the fastest BPO companies in the Philippines, I would like to invite you to apply in EGS, an Alorica company, because our doors are open for all of you.
To all the PUPians, let's create a size of smile together.
Smart is very happy to have PUP graduates now enjoying their career and let them live more.
#Sites to PUP. We will support you in more ways than one.
Tara na, maging magkasama na tayo. Mabuhay ang PUP.